to play with Kendall and all them, but then he got there and he was like I couldn't deal with the cold.
Oh really?
Yeah.
4, 3, 2,
But he was
wow. Sick with it. Episode 39 on the rocks.
on the rocks.
What the hell is 39? Y'all not cheating no more. It ain't no fun when y'all ain't cheating.
Right.
Actually, I did cheat.
Well, okay, give it to me. Oh, so he trying to do that delay.
He did that sneaky thing.
It was Dwight
Sneaky
Howard for
Terry.
the Lakers. Dwight Howard for the Lakers.
Oh yeah, Dwight Howard. That's big.
Yeah,
One of the most hated athletes, and I hate everybody who hates Dwight Howard.
Why would anybody hate Dwight Howard?
Oh, man,
He
'cause-
is one of the most hated.
Yeah, for many reasons. One, the whole Shaq issue, that Superman 2.0, when Shaq ain't even Superman 1.0. I'm like, why y'all mad at Dwight? Shaq ain't original with Superman.
And he didn't even claim, like, Kenny Smith gave him that name.
Right.
It wasn't even him that said he was Superman.
Yeah, that was
He
wild.
caught all the smoke from
You
it.
know New Yorkers always starting shit.
Yeah, as you
that
look
was
at it.
that was a Shaq insecurity.
Yeah.
Kenny was just giving him credit.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. We give credit.
I don't know if
Basketball-
Shaq insecure.
I say from a basketball standpoint, I kind of hated on Dwight early on.
See?
Because he was he was kind of an unskilled offensive player. Like he wasn't refined with his half hooks, his jump shots.
You thought he was
He
unskilled?
came out of high school.
Really?
He came out.
What
I
did
mean,
you
later,
Even later on, later on.
later on, he was
He was a
unskilled.
lob guy.
I feel
and
like when the
defensive
league
guy, but
started
they was
changing.
giving him they were saying at one point he was the second best player in the league behind LeBron.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just didn't see it.
You didn't
But
see it?
Like later on, I matured and I was like, you know what he brings to the table is elite, and I respected it. So
Well, skill and technique, they say, is just a mean till end. So, no matter how ugly your shot is or how few skills you show,
Yeah.
you getting that ball in bucket. We got to fuck with it.
Ball in bucket.
Ball in bucket. You know?
Dwight took that team to the finals.
He did.
And that was not a finals team.
they had a squad.
But he was that.
Uh-oh.
No, he was that good that he
Lewis,
made it look like
he
they
was
had a
that
squad.
good. Till
He
he
was
hurt his
that
back.
good.
Yeah.
Till he hurt his back, he was a monster.
But they weren't chopped liver. They had Turkoglu, they had Lewis, they had Nelson, they had Skip, they had J.J. Redick. They had a good little squad on them.
Yeah, but you take Dwight off that team.
Oh, I mean,
They may not even make it out the first
I mean,
round.
you can say that with
Well, you
anybody.
say everybody who's ever played
But that's
the sport,
no.
the
I'm
sport of
saying
basketball.
Dwight is that good though
I don't
that
think
he
that makes your
made
point.
everything around them. All those players around him look a lot better.
Yeah.
like it's the same thing with like LeBron. LeBron was so good that all those players look much better. So when they putting him right
Nah, we
behind
starting
LeBron,
early. I ain't let him off the hook. That was a weak point. You take
no.
him off the team, he ain't gonna be good. Hey, what team
no,
you gonna take? What team?
it's because you missed the point.
What's the point?
He said that they were saying that Dwight was right behind LeBron as
was.
best in the league.
He was.
He said he didn't see it. Like LeBron, they're so dominant that if you took the two of them off the team, those teams are nowhere near to the finals.
No,
the fact that they both
point-
went there shows how good they are. He
My
he
point
was
is
up
the
there.
converse, which is making your point look bad. You don't understand this?
What's
I'm
my-
gonna work with you.
how's my
the
point?
point is, what team that's ever been great and you take their top player off and they still good?
But if they're saying
I
that,
mean, it's red.
but if,
that's my point.
but if people are saying Dwight,
You
he
won't
said
answer that. You
No,
won't answer
we're saying the same thing.
No,
we're
we're
just
not.
saying it differently.
No, we're not.
Terry said that
started
he didn't
early.
believe in
I'm
Dwight.
like, what are you talking about?
Terry said he didn't believe in Dwight because he didn't think he was
I know
that.
that.
He
I know.
didn't think he was that
But
good.
it don't
I'm
matter
saying
who
he
you believe
is
in.
that good. That's not true. There's top players right now who've been in the league who didn't even get to the finals. So regardless if you take them off the team or not, they still didn't go to the finals. For a player to
Y'all catch
go.
that wasn't my point. My point is, name a team where you take the top player off and you think that team is still great. With Coach's game, we got Jordan and Pippen.
But I don't think that team was great. That's what I'm saying. When
No,
he's saying
the
Dwight,
results, the
when he's
results.
saying he didn't think Dwight was like that, I'm saying, he was
I
based
see.
on
I
the
see.
results of them going
I
to the
see
finals.
we in that moment already. You can't see what I'm saying. I'm saying,
Do y'all not see what I'm saying?
Name one team.
I got
where-
you.
I think it's the Pippen Jordan one. Go. Who you
No, I
got?
was going to say with the 2018 Warriors, you take off Durant, you still got Steph.
What did they end up doing that year?
They won a championship.
We talking about
The
great
18?
teams.
Yeah. Was it 18?
No.
No. It was
They didn't win 18 because then
Who they
because
won?
Durant was still there because then 19 Toronto won and when they got hurt.
Right. That means that Durant won 17-18.
Yeah, but Durant was there.
No, I'm saying you take off Durant and that
No,
team.
I'm saying it happened. Oh, okay. Let me clarify.
Okay.
See,
And-
there's
And I
different
wanna clarify 'cause
conversations
I'm nice
going
to
on
you.
here.
Okay.
Name a team that the top player wasn't there and they still was like balling.
okay.
It's only Pippen
Okay.
Jordan, right?
Right.
No.
Pippen won 54 games without Jordan,
Yeah.
94.
So all top players, like removed from that team ain't right.
I agree with that.
That's all.
I mean, you took Harden off the Rockets. I mean, when he was there, they still didn't go nowhere. So if you took him off, are they that much worse of a team?
But we don't have the test because we didn't see him great. But he took them to the final. Dwight took the team to the finals. You saying Dwight ain't there, they not good. I'm like, well, what team is good that you take them off?
You talking about great teams because when he's talking about Golden
I'm
State.
not getting into that good, great shit. I'm talking about make the finals like
But
like
I was
Dwight.
talking about sorry teams, and you were talking about teams being good.
That's the first time you said the word sorry, but I'm listening.
Right, because I said
See, I'm on
the
his
only
ass
reason
already. I told
why
y'all I'm on his ass.
the only reason why they made it to the finals is solely because of Dwight. He's like, oh no, they had all these other players. I'm like, them guys.
No, I'm not saying
they
that.
weren't that.
I mean,
they looked really good because of Dwight, because he was so
Like
dominant.
every team ever.
That's not true. That's why I gave you Harden. When Harden is on teams, they don't look
When
great.
did they make the finals?
That's my point.
No, so the point,
He's not,
you
they're
can't
not great.
start with a team that doesn't even fit this conversation. This conversation is about a finals team.
No, it's about
with
players. It's about great players. How great a player is can make
You
the
really
team
don't
look
just
better.
hijack his thing. It was Dwight
It was my
made
point.
the finals.
He responded to my point.
I know, it doesn't matter. Dwight finals, right?
Right, you
Now,
should have
give me-
hijacked his.
Give me an example. You don't have none. Just say that and we can move on. Dwight finals, someone that was great, not on the team, they still made the finals or they were close. Pip and Jordan, right? That's all we got. And that was Eastern Conference Finals. Give me another one.
A team that went to the finals.
I
and
know
take
what I
the top
said.
guy. I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page.
I'm on your ass,
I'm trying to
homie.
think if we took Billups off the Pistons, are they still a good team?
No. It hasn't happened is my point. You're making my point. It's okay.
I gotta
Welcome
think.
to episode
That's
39.
something. That's not something. Yeah, I got to think about that one for a little bit.
I know you got to think.
It's
You
a
gotta
lot of
think
champions
like
there.
70 years
And
of NBA. You got to think a lot
I just want
about
to
it.
clarify. I just didn't believe in Dwight because I didn't think you can be a franchise player and you couldn't throw the ball to that franchise player and expect a bucket. And that was my whole.
You didn't expect that from Dwight.
Yeah,
Not a
bias.
post game
When
bucket.
he first came in the league,
a post
Dwight
game
was
bucket?
a monster.
Beast.
Post game. What was his shot?
Dunk.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's not guaranteed every time, though.
What was Shaq?
They was
That's a
throwing
real
that-
high
yeah,
percentage
Right,
shot.
that's the same thing with Shaq.
Yeah, what's
That
wrong
literally
with
was
us?
Shaq.
Shaq had
That's a high
footwork.
percentage.
Shaq had footwork though.
But it didn't
Yeah.
result into a shot. He was athletic. He
Like,
could move.
like I can
but
give Shaq the ball. He's gonna do the little drop step or whatever he's gonna do. That's
wasn't
his move.
footwork.
I didn't know Dwight's move.
Hakeem had footwork.
Oh, yeah, Hakeem.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Shaq,
he is the
Shaq
footwork.
was just big and strong, so he was overpowering
And he was
everybody,
nimble.
which is what Dwight was doing.
Yeah, but I just didn't know what his shot was. If I don't know what your go-to shot is, then I can't really
You ain't
rely
feeling
on
him?
you. I can't rely on it.
Isn't that an unfair advantage on Dwight though? Because Shaq didn't have a shot. Like he literally was the same. It was the same player.
When we won a championship, he had some footwork and he had a half hook that was pretty reliable.
He did have that little baby hook.
That little baby hook. That Magic showed him.
Yeah.
that Kareem said, I ain't showing nobody the full hook. All y'all get this baby shit. Yeah.
Unorthodox.
That's the bias. That's the problem with like big men. That's why people don't give him credit. That's why I love Dwight, because he just naturally. So what? I think like in sports, to me, it's like I don't want to hear your height. I hate when somebody be like, "Yo, for somebody 6 feet and under, he like that don't count."
Yeah.
Like, hold if he was bigger, like that don't count. Dwight gets actually debited because he's just big and naturally physical and was like a machine, and he didn't do much with that because that's the curse of the gifted. Like when you that big and that athletic, let's just say you in the lab different than somebody who is little. We see it already. I go to AU games and the little kid is always the toughest, always the feistiest, going 94 feet, and the big kid kind of like, I'm gonna get mine. You know what I mean? Like, and I hate when they measure people like that, because that's what's happening a lot of time with the bias.
Yeah.
And Shaq took that to heart, because Shaq probably was like, I already lived through this, and now this fool gonna get some credit. Shaq don't like nobody getting more credit than him, especially.
And getting paid more than him.
Yeah, if they getting more than him, and he like, they ain't more than me. So it's like, why they getting more than me? Well, it's because of inflation. It's because of social media.
Right.
He getting more attention and all
New
that.
contracts.
New contracts.
He don't factor none of that in.
Nah.
And he's such a good businessman that you would think like that would just be like common sense. But he don't care.
Yeah, maybe it's his stick. Maybe it's just his like, I know I can get. He's like, how many things that Shaq could really be mad about, right? So he got to make up one. Like, oh, you got my nickname. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't see anything else.
He did say that's what he did with David Robinson. Remember that story for the longest time was David Robinson didn't sign an autograph for him. So when he went and played against him, he would like try to destroy him. And then later he admitted that story wasn't even true.
He wasn't even true.
Nah, he just used it for motivation.
Didn't Jordan do something like that too? Like, didn't Jordan have those like fake motivations? Like, oh, I say
Jordan was still at his Hall of Fame speech. He was still mad at somebody from grammar school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was really mad
Like,
at
dude,
people. I don't
for
think it was
real?
faking.
No, he wasn't faking
He
it.
just was really
No, he
upset.
took it personal.
From grammar school.
Y'all mad at somebody from back in the days? Y'all ain't got nobody?
No,
Not from-
Nobody?
Not from that
Nobody.
far back.
nobody.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not the mad type, but I'm thinking who I ain't fucking with.
I mean, think about how psychotic you got to be mad at somebody from grammar school when you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
I had somebody.
I mean,
that had
that's a
serious
problem. You
problems
need to go see some therapists when that happens.
I had
Or
I had somebody I had serious problems with in high school, and funny enough, like 2 days ago, this girl I know sent me a picture because I don't have no pictures from back then. I never took pictures.
Boy. The phone is lit. Litty lit.
She sent me a
Still getting
picture,
them pics.
and it's me and that dude and like 4 other people in the picture.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, we had such a like tense relationship for a long time.
Who, you and the dude or you and the girl?
Me and that guy.
Oh, that guy?
Like, yeah, it was.
What y'all
bad.
beefing over? The block, son?
No, it's a long story. I'd have to tell you.
girl.
The girl.
No. I've never fought
Money
over
or
a girl.
girl?
I've never fought over a girl, and I never fought over money, which is what most people
Those
fight
are your
over.
two.
So what
those
else
are
you fighting over?
Those
Some
are your
soup?
two.
It was a
rules.
Fighting over a
miscommunication.
meal?
It's a miscommunication. I'm not getting a story, but it's a long story.
Make
Pretty
it short. You can know how to do that.
So this is a time when we were involved in.
Look how high his cheeks gonna got. This motherfucker about to lie. Tell the story.
One thing I don't do is lie.
Oh, that's three
Everything
numbers.
I say can be proven and backed up.
Okay, Blaze. Yeah,
That's-
go Blaze. Go Blaze.
Just remember that.
I don't know. I'm listening to this.
No, I mean,
long story gets short.
No, because I was trying to figure out how to shorten it without, Anyway,
Yeah.
we were involved in some activities.
I knew it. The wire in this motherfucker.
No, not illegal activities. It was like gang related stuff at that time.
Gang related. You ain't live in L.A.
Omar coming. Omar
So
coming.
there was
Got
this
that yellow pack. Got that yellow pack.
There was this big
First
brawl
one's free.
that had happened. There was this brawl that had happened outside of our school. And I was on one side and then he was on the other side. Now we were cool we started off cool.
Okay.
Whatever. So this happened that day. There was this girl who I never liked.
I thought it wasn't about no girl.
It's not.
Okay.
It is, but it's not. It's not like we were messing with the girl.
Yeah.
And I didn't like her. She didn't like me, but she liked him. Like she was like into him. She knew we was cool. So I guess she chose to tell him like, oh, he wasn't even out there with y'all.
Oh, you didn't have their back? You didn't
Right.
fight?
Now everybody around me knew exactly where we were at and what we were doing. But he was on the other side. They started liking each other. So pretty much she got in his head.
Pillow talked him.
Yeah. And then he's
Start
like,
giving him that
yeah, and
tingle.
then he got mad at me out of nowhere. And I remember we were cool. And then he came at me crazy one day like, oh, you ain't even hold us down and this and that. And I'm like,
Did he do that in front of other people when he confronted you?
No, he didn't even confront me. He told somebody, so we had another mutual friend, and he said it to him. And then he told me. And then he started telling everybody he was looking for me and this and that. And this went on for like a year. And we just weren't
He wasn't
crossing.
looking hard enough.
It was.
I used to see you every day. Now
It
you
was,
can't find me in a year.
it was the beginning of our senior year, and we had like schedules was different. You know, at that point, you're not even there as much because it's senior year. And
Hold on, what school you go to? Fuck.
well, for
I
me,
didn't catch that much itis. Senior itis.
Well,
I wasn't. Yeah, I got the same way.
No, I know,
that's what
I
I'm
know.
saying. You just
Yeah.
trying to start something.
No, I actually went to school my senior year. That was the best time to be there. You ran that shit.
Well,
we didn't have that choice.
yeah,
You
I was
had
about
to
to
go to
say,
school.
Yeah, I had to
went.
play catch up. So I was actually. There's a whole other story. I was
Okay.
I was going to 2 high schools at the same time, and I know that sounds crazy.
Oh man.
But
You think?
again, this can be proven.
You think?
I had a guidance counselor. I was just getting into a bunch of nonsense. I had a
Damn,
guidance
Noriega. What the
My
fuck
guidance
wrong
counselor was cool with my mother because she used to always call her throughout the years. So she was like, I know he's trying to get up out of here. So this is what I'm going to do. She had a friend that owned this private school that wasn't too far from me.
Are we on to the second school story?
Yeah.
What happened to the other one?
I already told you.
That's it?
Yeah, I told you. Our beef started because he thought I wasn't holding him
About
down.
what happened at the end? Like y'all ain't fighting or nothing? He just went away? Just went off to college?
We weren't crossing paths. And then one time we saw each other. Like this might have been like 2 weeks left of school. And I had a gang of people with me. and he had a bunch of people with him.
Jets and Sharks. Let's go.
But nothing happened. Like he was talking, but nothing actually happened because there was so many mutual friends in between that everybody was just like.
I bet there's at least an incident.
But he
report.
kept talking. Like he kept talking crazy.
Sounds like there's a police report somewhere that you don't want to keep talking about.
No police report.
Restraining
Like,
order.
he wasn't doing that. Yeah.
Like,
He just kept sending threats. Like he kept saying and telling people when he see me, he's gonna do this, that.
Yeah.
And then nothing ever happened. But I kept always hearing that whole year that he was looking for me.
Damn.
And I'm like,
A lot of
I'm
sleepless-
like, I'm here.
Sleepless
I'm
nights.
here every day.
Were you sleepless? Never
I
nervous?
was at school every day.
You just said you didn't go to school. That's what I'm saying.
I said-
Y'all think I be really doing too much.
I said-
actually listen to people.
I said
you
you're
just
not
said
at
you
school.
ain't there now. You saying
You're
there
not
every day.
at
He
school.
had you shook, son.
Listen to this. Now here's when you gotta listen to the details.
Okay,
Here's when you listen to the
Pretty good,
details.
pretty good lawyer
I said
right
my
here.
senior year, I was going to 2 different high schools.
I know.
So yes,
So you
I
went
was
to the other
going
one.
there every day,
Right.
but I wasn't there as
Yeah.
much because
Yeah.
I had to go back
You had
and
to go
forth.
back and
So yes,
forth.
I was there,
Yeah.
but I wasn't
Motherfucker
seeing
made
people
you
like
pick up
that.
another high school.
I was waiting for that to drop.
I had to
Hey,
do,
boy.
I had to do other classes. So like I was going to my school and then I would
messing
leave
with
by a
you.
certain time and then had to
Damn.
go to the other school to make up those
You
classes.
promised us that story's gonna be short. You ain't
It was
even-
2 different stories.
I know. We ain't even done with either one because he
It is. That was it.
Punked your
That was
ass.
it.
Oh man, I don't think Jordan was mad at them people. I think
That was a
Jordan,
terrible segue.
I think you can have a speech. I think that's what it is. I think you can have a speech and say whatever you want. And I think a lot of times you can play into your aura. You can play into what people want to hear. Like if Peyton Manning's speech doesn't involve I'm first in, last out, it ain't Peyton Manning's speech. Now sometimes I'm sure Peyton Manning wasn't first in. I'm sure somebody had to let that mug in the building or something. I just think that I don't know, man. I just think it's so many false stories. You think it's real, huh? I just don't believe all that.
I
just be like, man,
think Jordan and Kobe.
embellish.
I think Jordan and Kobe were competitive to a psycho level.
No, that's true. I agree with
I
that.
think that's what that is.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Like if they was in the army or something, they'd be the ones. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like those are those dudes. So,
I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's tough too. I'm not competitive like that, and I hate when I'm around somebody like that because I'm mad at myself for not caring as much about this dark game as them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but
That's where we differ.
like anything, are you competitive like that?
Yeah. I want to win everything I do.
Damn, really?
I'm not a
show it
sore
different,
loser though.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be like walking around mad if I lost and acting funny to you, but I'm gonna be mad that I lost. Like some people, some people are sore losers. Like they'll take it out on everybody around them because they lost. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But it will bother me that I lost that game.
What about the other lane? What do you think about the person who is not bothered because you can't be mad at a missed shot? You just got to make the next shot. Like I'm more of a like.
I mean, I understand that too.
yeah.
Just
You don't think
different
they weak? You don't think I'm weak?
No, I think people are weak when they quit.
Oh yeah.
Outside
that's
of
the
that,
weakest.
outside of that,
Yeah.
like if you don't get mad, I just think you're not as competitive. That's
Yeah.
it. It's just
How did that happen? How you get competitive? It like just born with all that, or how much is that born with, and how much is that I got it from around me?
I think I got it from around me.
Oh, you?
Having an older brother and
Ah,
cousins.
that'll
and,
do it.
You know, them pushing you and you wanting to keep up with them. So you had to be competitive in order to get the skill sets early so you could even hang out and play. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you play.
Yep.
In anything, cards, sports, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many brothers you at?
One brother.
One brother?
5 years older.
Oh. Was he a beast at anything, like, or he's just older than you?
He was a really good football player and just super smart. So, yeah. Yep.
So you didn't live up to him, huh?
No.
I mean, you smart. You ain't super smart. That motherfucker super smart. What happened to him? What do you mean super smart?
Huh?
What he doing?
He runs a bunch of legacy estates. He produced like the Miles estate. He used to help Don Cornelius a ton.
he got that mansion in Tarzana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. You talking about that.
He sits on a bunch of different boards.
Where does he live?
Pause.
Tarzana.
Oh, he lives.
Up
Oh,
in
that's
the
him.
hills.
Okay. Damn, that's dope. You got brothers?
Nope.
Sisters?
Nope. It's
Just
me.
you?
Yeah.
Ah! that explains all this
But I grew up
son.
around everybody older. I had a bunch of cousins and everybody, so I was always the youngest. So I think that's what my competitive, like when you were saying, I always had to battle for mine.
Oh, I get you now. Yo, you have brothers and sisters?
I got a sister. She's younger though. But yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 sisters, one out here and one in Chicago. So 3 out of 4 kids are here.
Oh wow.
And we moved my mom out here, so she's
Who was
here
your first?
too.
You?
My brother came first, and I came second.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's dope.
Uh-oh. Y'all hear it coming.
That's not the second one though.
That was the
Because
second
the first one, he was like, my brother sit on a bunch of boards, and all I thought was wood.
Hell yeah.
That's tough.
Y'all got anybody in your family that's gay or like Uncle Gloria, like trans, like my trans uncle, auntie?
One of my daughters is bi, but I don't have any like trans.
You just said that. Oh, she's bi? Really? How do you know?
That was a whole
We
new
talked
conversation.
about it.
Wow. Okay.
That
That's
caught me
gang
laughing.
related.
I ain't never heard you say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
the first time I heard you say
I
that.
don't want to narrow it down now. You only got 2 choices. We going East Coast, we going up north. Let me just keep it vague so I come in hot. How you find this shit out?
She came and told me.
What?
She, you know,
Good for
kids
her.
want
That's
to be
dope.
accepted, and that was like probably like freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school.
High school?
That's dope for you. And when
Yeah.
I say, let me be specific why I'm saying that, the fact that she was comfortable enough to come to you at this age, 'cause
Right.
they still young,
Right.
to have that conversation with you, that means she really like trusts you and value you.
Absolutely.
Because a lot
And
of
I
them will
really
keep that
appreciate-
away.
I appreciate it.
Man.
You know, it was a weird circumstance. My ex and my girls had gone out somewhere. They had gone down to the garage to the car, and then she came back up. And she said, "Dad, I want to talk to you about something." And she laid it out, and I was like, "I'm happy you brought it to me." And I said, "Pipe, I don't care who you love, as long as that person treats you well. You can. It's fair game. Whatever it is that makes you happy, as long as that person is making you happy and treating you well, I'm down for it."
It sounded like she had that on her mind for a while.
Yeah.
and, and found the right time to talk to you about it. Yeah.
So senior year, she went to prom with a girl at Marlboro, and then she also went to 3 boys' proms.
So she told you this while she was still in high school.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Freshman or
Freshman
sophomore
really
year
early.
of high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant freshman year in college. I know they in college. Got you.
Oh, man. What was your
early.
first reaction? Seriously. Like, it was happy?
It was.
Because you said, I'm happy you told me, but are you happy you're hearing this?
Oh yeah, I didn't. It doesn't move the needle for me at all.
Is that because she's not lesbian and she
it's a
just bi?
50-50 chance.
Huh?
Because it's a 50-50
I'm
chance.
saying, like, you still gotta, so you still there's still a chance.
It still might work
You
out.
still might sit on that board.
Hilarious.
No, you know what? Kids, it sits so heavy on kids to not be accepted for who they are. So why in the world would I not accept my child in whatever form they come in?
Yeah.
That's my kid, and I'm rolling with it. And I don't have any problem with anybody's sexuality anyway. So
Yeah.
just do whatever it is that's natural for you.
And you can't do nothing about it.
That's
Because
right.
whether you accepted it or not, it wasn't going to change her
Yeah.
liking what she likes.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And see, that's where I'm like, before the moment I know that you are not heterosexual. And the only reason I have any concern is because of biology and legacy. So I'm like, okay, if you stop opting into creating other kids, then the Wiley name gonna go away. So my goal is like, yo, just do like MJ, go find a girl, and girls go find a boy so you can make some babies that got our blood. But then when you go off that path, it's like, okay, I'm not mad, but I'm like, where these babies gonna come from? And then I know there's all these labs and what IVF and like all these different ways, but that's what the legacy conversation, like Little Richie, Mr. Porter's and Mrs. Porter's. How do you do that when you have a girl? What if she chooses not to be bi? She goes lady. Then were you ever think about that, or you don't care?
No, I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
You don't care if y'all just gone?
He got another daughter. Right?
Better not hang with the other ones.
And I got a host.
Like for you,
I got
you
a
got
host
4.
of nieces and nephews, and I got
That ain't you.
3 brothers and sisters. I mean, what do I? I mean, what?
I'm not trying to balance the two. I'm saying in an ideal world, I'm saying I hope it goes this way so I can say, that's my grandson, that's my granddaughter. You don't care about that?
No.
Is that more of an ego thing for you, Sal? One
In what way?
Your bloodline to continue and know it's out there.
Tell me. I think it's because one, I wouldn't have got here if some of those choices were made before me. So then, I mean, I don't know if that's ego. But then two, I want us to keep like I see us. Like my mama was huge, and then I was growing up like, when I'm gonna be bigger than my mama? Then finally, I morph into my mama, and I'm like, damn, that's me. And then like, you know, I put my gum in my drink, and that's because of my mama. And it's like, I just love that. I love Old Testament, like Bible, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, you mess around. Like my wife's adopted, and boy, that's a different animal, dog. Like her level of security ain't mine. She walk around here different. She just met her mom literally by picture 3 days ago, something like that. 3 days ago. My wife is 42. Wow. 3 days ago, she hired a private investigator. See, I'm different than y'all, and I'm being honest. Like my oldest daughter knows this. Like I hear the dad who's like, come to me if you have any problems. And I'm the dad that's like, you better not have no problems, but if you do, come to me. So that basically, I'm trying to like narrow it, like don't be doing some shit you better not be doing. But then I'm knowing they're gonna end up doing something on that list. They ain't coming to me because they're like, Daddy don't want to hear that. And I do, but I told you not to. So I say all that because my wife adopted. She hired a private investigator. She didn't tell me because she knows. I'll be like, what? You better go. We could find it a different way than you paying some guy to hope. And then he ended up finding her and sent her a picture. And they sent her, my wife, a picture of her biological mother she's never seen, never talked to in her life, with a picture of our whole family in front of her. And her mom was just looking like, wow, I want to see you guys and all that stuff. So we're on the rekindling.
So they spoke to each other?
They spoke on the phone. They did. Wow. 25 minutes.
Wow.
That's
Isn't that great? How was her?
Was
I mean, I don't want to get all y'all personal, but like.
Oh yeah, big personal.
On both sides, like her mother, was she like amazed by that, or was it like?
Yeah, her mom. She said her mom was like, I just knew I couldn't take you. I was single. Your dad didn't want anything to do, and he moved away. There was a hookup. I was like, God dang. I was like, this shit. Thanks. I thought Compton was bad. Like this motherfucker.
Was this in Canada?
Yeah. So my wife is like half Dutch, half Nigerian. So daddy was Nigerian, mom's was Dutch. And then she was like, I couldn't do this. So then she gave her up for adoption immediately, and then she ends up getting adopted by a family that already had another adopted baby. So they had two because they didn't think they could have any kids. Turns out they could. They had a baby naturally, the third one, the youngest one. And I mean, and I was just like, dog, that's crazy. See, if I'm the dad of 3 kids, 2 are adopted and 1 ain't and 1's mine, you know how I wear this? This is my family, but this is my favorite. That's my favorite.
I knew you was going there. I just want to see if you was going to do it.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, I wonder how other people, like, am I weird or y'all lying that ain't your baby. And the rest is your babies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would love different, and I just know I would. Because I had a stepkid almost when I was dating that girl. And as much as I love that little boy,
it ain't like
ain't no damn MJ. Like a little boy.
Now? Is it MJ your favorite?
Hell yeah, by far. Okay. It's not even close. But I love them beyond. They're infinity. And then my son told me there's something called, it's like Googleplex or something like that. It's a number bigger than infinity. I don't know what the hell. He told me. He's 9, so I don't know if it's true. But yeah, I love all my kids. But boy, MJ got me. He got me somewhere special.
Sound like Dion.
I mean, I'm not having any more kids, so I'm not having a boy anyway. So, you know, there's plenty.
You never know.
My sister has a boy.
You in them streets.
My
you
brother has a boy.
The way you walking, you don't know.
You're wearing Lacoste and fatigue and Jesus sandals.
And that Lacoste is fresh off the shelf. Look, it still got the new crease.
Oh, yeah. You got the JCPenney fold.
Pop that collar. Pop that collar.
Put that sticker out there.
You still out.
A large sticker on.
You might have another one. The pull-out game might be off that night.
It's a little rusty. Might be a little rusty. See, you heard him? What? He said pull-out game.
What's that?
At this age, with all the vasectomy,
he pulling out nothing.
All them girls, them post-menopause girls he messing with, I know the disease run rampant in them elderly homes. Y'all just out there dog diggling. He laughing because he know. Girl be like, what is that? A condom? What am I, 30?
Like, why?
He's gonna use a lambskin.
Lambskin.
What are we doing here?
You don't try to make a baby with me that you can't.
What is this artifact?
Oh my God, that is so
I just
true.
want to say I respected you. Let you know I respected you.
No,
from the
I
jump.
respect that.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's why I pulled it out.
Right.
I want to let you know I respect you. You don't have to use it.
Dog, that's so good.
Just keep it adjacent.
Yeah.
Dog, the parallels in like childhood to adulthood to like elderly and to death, I always trip off of that. Like how when you're born and you can't walk, and then when you're about to die, if you're really old naturally, you barely can walk. Like them cats, you boo-boo and pee on yourself when you little. When you old, you boo-boo and pee on yourself. Like for real. When you little, you sleep like in little spurts, like 2-3 hours. And when you old, them old people be up early, like they fishing every day. I'm like, you ain't fishing. They just went.
They sleep all day too. They like in and out of sleep.
Yeah, like when you're a little baby too. It's wild. And another one is condoms.
Shit, my mom is almost 91. And that describes her perfectly, except for she doesn't sleep during the day. She doesn't sleep much at all.
That's what I'm saying. Most old people don't sleep.
She go to bed and then she's awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. Really?
She got to watch them horse races. and then
Watch
She wrote.
She watching MASH. Yeah, she
Oh,
MASH.
it's even worse. She watches those shopping channels.
Oh, she whole house full of boxes.
Taking all her money.
Yeah, they getting mama.
Getting her.
Finger
That
hut.
shit should be illegal.
Yeah.
HSN, QVC. There should be some regulation on that shit.
That's the first generation of Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Because we are on Amazon. It's the same. It's the same
literally
addiction.
the same thing.
They just see it in live action. Yeah.
That's a good point, huh?
Yeah.
They be selling it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you better start wearing them condoms. Just basically because you're old like a baby. Or like when you're young in college, you struggle.
And I ain't having no babies. Nope,
Did you get
A
snipped?
lot of people say that.
No.
You didn't get snipped?
You out here.
You out
Playing
here
with a loaded gun. You're like, what you doing?
You out here doing drive-bys. Yeah, out here hot. Did you? Oh, you too young, huh?
I don't know if I'll ever do that.
No,
I'm scared.
It ain't painful. They lie.
You did it?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
And everybody talking about, oh man, you can't sit for a week in the ice. And man, if you ever been kicked, it's half as painful as that. Yeah, it's about half as painful as that. It's disturbing at first.
That's painful. I'm sitting there like, that hurts.
Take a half off.
Even that half hurts.
That graze. The graze.
That means getting kicked in one ball.
Right.
You get
graze can be painful.
One of your nuts instead of both.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've truly never been kicked like on the movies. Like, I've never had that. Oh, I've never had that. So I'm talking about like football. Like, oh, dog, dang, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've had some grazes.
I've been full blown kicked and it didn't hurt like how a graze hurt. Like I got kicked one time, like straight in, and it didn't even.
Damn.
I thought it was about to be bad, and I didn't even really feel it. And I've had times where somebody just that lightest graze, and it's like leaned over, holding your stomach.
Hey, listen, it's like a knockout. All you got to do is shake the brain. It doesn't have to be the biggest hit. Just shake the brain, shake the nuts.
Yeah, man. It's just that angle.
Ain't nothing tell you there's more of a thin line between love and hate than that. Because that's the pleasure place, but that's also the most pain place. It's like that close.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, right? That vas deferens or whatever. That when you fuck with the vas deferens, he starts shaking.
Even if she's doing too much,
That's right.
it could turn into pain. You're like, whoa, take it easy.
Spitting out powder.
Take it easy.
You give about 10 seconds for a readjustment. Then I gotta direct you. Let her just ease out by herself. Like, all right.
Dog.
Take your time.
Ain't
Take your
nothing
time.
My
worse.
stomach hurting now. We gotta readjust this.
Yeah, I got to throw up.
Yeah.
I felt it, but I didn't see anything. Never been there. Oh, don't let me get started. Don't let me get started.
That's a conversation with it itself.
Yeah. You be like, what? That's why I don't like. We were talking about it yesterday. We saw each other at a birthday party about singlehood, and that's why I've never been like tempted to be single ever again. Like marriage is to death, right? So I'm like, I don't care. My wife could divorce me. I'm like, well, you better go ahead and do something with that. There ain't no pens for me to sign. I ain't signing shit. You are mine for life. And she can date other people. She can live her whole life. I'm not divorcing her, right? Because single sucks to me. And part of single sucks is getting back out there and meeting somebody, and you got to figure out they got bad breath. You got to figure out if they stank. You got to figure out if they cool. You got to figure out if they living conditions is suitable. All that. And then you got to be like, oh, she cool. Then you got to go through her whole family and her crazy uncles and all that.
And all the friends.
And all the friends again. And oh, yeah. And all that BS. And then, like, all you're going to do is end up right back where you were in a situation like, you look different than my wife, my ex, but you kind of remind me of, like, it'd be the same. It'd just be a different list. It's like, it's all the menu, all the ingredients are here. It's just how you want to make your burrito, right? You carne asada. Okay, you Anna Marie. Okay, oh no, you like that pollo. Okay, you Amber. It's the same burrito though, dog. Ain't it crazy?
It is crazy. And you got to take all of that into account. And you forget about all that stuff. Like,
yes.
Like everything from A to Z. Like you said, from where they live to what they do. Not that that even matters that much, but their friends, their family, their kids, their exes, whatever. It's a laundry list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. You hear about that family that got, the wife was an influencer, and then she was dating, no, actually, this is what happened. She went to sushi with a dude, got killed. The dude who killed him was her ex-husband. They were going through a divorce. Police off duty saw it, confronted the dude, her ex-husband, and killed him too. So he went to go kill his wife, ex-wife, did it, killed the dude with him because the date. Well, really it was supposed to be business partner. But then a lot of people online are saying, nah, that's why they're getting divorced. Is this dude, he had a little bread, he was whining and dining her, and he knew, so then he like, I ain't got that kind of love and bread and stuff, so bye-bye. Then he trying to leave, police were off duty, like,
Killed the cop too.
All of them. They had 11 kids between them, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It happened in Fontana, right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was wild. I was caught off. Once again, you know me, I get fascinated by death and stuff like that. And I was just looking at it like, you imagine? Like she went on her podcast a couple of days before it happened and said she's divorcing him. He didn't have her back. He was insecure. She was blowing up and he didn't want to support.
That might have pushed him over.
That might have pushed him over.
Because now you're publicly trying to embarrass me.
Right.
That might have got him.
That got him. It had to be. Like no other way around it. You know what I mean?
Imagine the restaurant owner.
Right. Yeah.
You got three kills in your restaurant.
Right.
Was it inside?
I don't know. I can't say.
I would hope it's outside.
I think they were like sitting at a table and he rolled up on them and popped
Did it at the table?
Yeah.
But look at the advertising. Like, I mean, everything I've seen has shown that restaurant, et cetera. Yeah. And that's something that I always think about too when I walk around LA and stuff. I'm like, how many people have died right here? Because like on my corner where we grew up, there's this old man got in a car accident and died right there. And I remember like in the moment, he went through the windshield and the old Mercedes, I think, had a dagger in the emblem. It was like something like the Mercedes sign, and then I think it had like a little spike. And I remember seeing him and his head, the spike was in here, and he was just lump. And I was like 8 or something, 6 or 8, and I was like, dang, he died right here. And the blood, going off of the hood and stuff. And I was like, wow, that wasn't crazy as the next day when I had to go to school, you just walk in and you're like, it's just a normal street. And I was like, I thought I was thrown off. I was like, oh, this street ain't gonna act like that dude that died there yesterday. The street, like whatever.
You were living in a Final Destination
that
episode.
sounds like Final Destination shit there. Like, damn.
Yeah.
The writer in me was like, damn, I ain't gonna.
That's right.
That reminds me of Bossa Nova. Remember during the pandemic, they had that crazy situation where the guys got shot right in front of it because if you remember, at Bossa Nova, there was so many people getting robbed.
Oh yeah,
the pandemic. They was catching people in there.
Yeah.
Really?
People going in there. They got a bunch. If you go on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of them are like on like the security camera footage is there. People walking in there and
the one on Sunset.
Walking in there robbing people all times a day during the pandemic. And then one of the last ones I heard is they tried to rob this guy outside. I think he was in a G-Wagon. He got out. They tried to rob him, and then he happened to have a gun on him, and then one of them died. I forget which one, but they ended up shooting right in front of there. And that was just like a stain on Boston. Nobody wanted to go over there.
Yeah.
Because stuff just kept happening.
Well, that's probably why that was the last one. The guy had that heater on him. It's like, that's it.
Yeah,
I live in Studio City, and there's a restaurant called Vitello's, Italian restaurant, and that's where Robert Blake killed his wife.
Oh, I've heard.
That was at a restaurant?
It was outside the restaurant.
Yeah, I always thought that was at a house somewhere.
Yeah, no, it was this place called Vitello's.
Damn. Yeah, I've seen a lot of death. I just saw this old, I think it was a lady. Yeah, old lady. We were walking in. This is why I don't mess around. You ever go into those automatic closing sliding doors? You know, you go in and open and go like this. All right, so there was one. We were at Crenshaw Slauson. I think it was a Rouse back then or something. And lady, the thing was closing, and she walked in, and then it stopped on her. And, you know, it's supposed to open up when it touches somebody. Right. It ain't open up.
It kept trying to close.
It kept trying to close and kept beeping. And I'm like, oh, man. And then it just squeezed. She just, I was like, oh.
Really?
Yeah, well, they
goodness.
Yeah.
Was it like in the 80s or something?
This is like late 70s, 80s.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And I remember looking, I was like, that ain't it. Yeah, I think. I was like, wow. And then now this is why I ain't gonna do no LSD or whatever you used to do, because all I do was relive that shit. I'm like, oh no, this old lady, she started lumping through her nose and she just asleep in the. I was like, man. So
he said, that's why I'm not doing no Wi-Fi.
Right.
That Wi-Fi y'all doing? Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
I know. Stuff like that.
One summer in college, I worked in the morgue for the medical examiner, because I had gone to summer school, and then.
Were you hurting for money?
Well, no, my parents, I always had a summer job.
But the morgue.
Well, here's what happened. I went to summer school. I stayed down in Illinois and went to summer school. And when I came home, my father made a phone call to help me get a gig, and the only thing that I could get was doing investigations and writing reports at the Cook County Medical Examiner's office. And it paid a lot of money, so I did it.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I had a choice.
Right. What'd you have to write up? He dead?
Well, you know, every time
easy job, he ain't gonna make it.
Shift over.
Yeah, if it's not
another one,
a natural death, they always send an investigator out. And then the investigator has to write reports and file reports on the death. And
so you were examining the bodies and stuff?
No, they had grown-ups doing that. Okay. But they would come back to me with their notes, and then I'd write up the reports for them. But the wild thing was I saw death every single day. You know,
my boy used to
dead.
My boy used to cut hair at the morgue, and I always thought he was crazy for doing that. Like it
was crazy.
I'm like, you're the only person I've ever heard. I never even thought about that. Like, I never even thought that people do that.
The makeup and all that.
Yeah, until, like, I knew they did the makeup thing, but I never even thought about haircuts
for
that. And he started doing it.
I saw some wild
Paid
shit,
a lot,
boy.
too.
It was crazy. You had to get used to it.
You do get used to it, huh?
Get used to it, and it's like no thing after a while. But I saw one thing that really affected me, and that was two brothers, little kids, that got burned in a fire. And they were huddled in a closet together, hugging. And that's how they came into the morgue.
Really?
Completely charged, still hugging each other.
And
that's the only thing that scarred me. But that was crazy.
That'd have been my last day right there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you just scarred me hearing that.
I don't want to see no kids like that.
It was awful.
Oh, man. We got to bounce some of this out.
But you also...
It's getting dark up in here.
Let's just throw a random flag. Just a random flag.
Can I bounce this out? Okay, all right, because that moment really got to me, because anything, especially with these kids and having these kids at this age. All right, so yesterday. So my daughter's in that phase where they trying to get their identity, therefore they fight over everything. They're the best kids around other kids. But then it's them two. Oh, it's Crippin' blood, because somebody gonna have to run this house. And Araya's gigantic compared to Olivia. Even though Olivia's not small, she just ain't gigantic, so she just getting punked and she younger. But she ain't no punk, so it's like just contest. Araya's nice to her, but then Olivia overrides and does too much. Yesterday, I hear the fight upstairs, and then I'm like, all right, who's coming down to tell? It's Soraya's turn. Dad, Olivia won't get out of my room, and she said that what did she say? She said she hates me, and I said, all right, do you believe her? And she's like, yeah. I said, why do you believe her? She was like, because she said it. I said, oh, Daddy's flying right now. I said, do you believe me? No, because you're sitting right here. I was like, all right, so don't believe everything you're hearing, right? And I said, now, has she said it before? Yeah. And I was like, she hates you? Why were you still upstairs playing? Now she started looking at me. I was like, oh, this might work. So I'm like, because I'm really foreshadowing when she's 13 and somebody going to say something to her. Yep. And I wish she had that my mama, grandma, Wiley spirit of fuck them. Like, that's how my parents told, they're fuck them. I don't care about them. Mm-hmm. And you hear that at first and you don't believe it. You hear it the second time, you mad that your parents ain't deeper. They ain't give you enough knowledge. They ain't give you game. Then you realize, oh, that's the answer. Like, fuck them. Like the school ain't built around them, so what? Go find your friends who do like you. Count those with you, not against you. So I kept talking to her. I was like, so you don't have to believe everything she says, anybody says, and don't let them control how you feel. You were feeling good before she said that. Now you're all upset. Don't let them mess with you like that. And I literally saw her do this. And she walked away, and I was like, oh, she got a new gun to play with, right? Some more ammunition, so.
That's a Wileyism.
I had to do it, man.
I feel like you have to teach them like that. Especially with girls.
Yeah.
Because girls are so emotional and sensitive to every little thing.
Mm-hmm. And girls are mean.
Girls are mean.
They
that
are
means
mean.
our daughters, too.
They are mean.
To them.
I see the difference between, like, my daughter and certain girls around her and how they move versus, even though my son is young, but like me being a little boy and just watching him, like the boys just don't care. Like, boys just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care about nothing else. Like, they just keep it moving.
Like, they ain't even listening to that.
5, 6 years old and they caddy already.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
it's crazy to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just wait till teenager years.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm in no rush to get
that's
there.
what I tell people all the time. Having a baby wouldn't be the problem for me. It would be ages 9 through 18. That's the hard part.
When they got opinions.
0 to 9 is not that hard. I mean, they basically do what you say to do. That you take them on play dates. They have fun. They draw. You go to Color Me Mine. You go to track practice. You know, whatever.
Right.
But once those mean girls at school and all that shit happens, it's awful, bro. It is awful.
I can imagine.
It's a rite of passage, but you can't escape it. But I
gotta
just
go through it,
especially now because they're going through it with the social media and they're going through it where everything that they're doing, somebody tracking them. Because the crazy thing is, all these devices, they scroll through and see your user behavior. They record you. That's why the marketers always throw up the ad as soon as you talk about it with your friend around the corner. I got a boy who owns a company that actually videotapes red lights, because they want to see when you go past retail stores, what's your behavior? Do you slow down your car? Do you look into it? And if you pass a Lululemon and you do one of these, by the next block, Lululemon will be on your next ad, and it'll be right there on your phone. And so these kids going to be getting all of these arrows slang at them, right?
Yep. Do your kids have devices already or no?
They on their iPads with YouTube. My son has my own account, so sometimes he be answering my texts. So if any of y'all ever get some, like, it's a bad argument. It's MJ. He's like, I said Kobe.
Well, that's good to know.
That's real good to know.
You know.
Yeah, the little man, but he don't go through it. I always turn it off. But
Text the
no
wrong thing.
social. No social.
Did you see my eyes?
Y'all have to be texting. Another text about, what was it yesterday, Kobe? You were talking about Kobe?
Oh, yeah. If I see some random good stuff, I send it your way, you know.
Yeah,
Because
AKA.
I know that Kobe slander.
A lot of Kobe slander out there.
It's too much.
It's a whole lot of Kobe.
And I think he actually led the charge in that.
No,
That's what I think.
I'm the truth teller.
Everybody thinks that.
No, everybody doesn't. No, they don't you dare. And you know that ain't true. A lot of people just talking shit.
Well, yeah, you're right. Some people just doing
like,
it for clicks.
Stir it up. Nah, there's a lot of Kobe slander. I don't know why we
Because he's
forget.
not here no more. That's what it is.
Yeah, but look, it's happened in every industry. The whole martyrdom effect of like wherever you were when you're done, we're gonna increase your value. Whether it's Kurt Cobain, Tupac, Biggie, Michael Jackson, all of them surges. No matter where they were, more. When I retired and started doing ESPN, people start introducing me as a Hall of Famer. What? In the
like,
middle.
Yeah, that's me.
Like,
that's me.
No, I was like, nah. I was like, and I felt it. Like, I still feel it. People are like, oh man, you were amazing. I was like, I was great and not so great. It was like I had both. But the point is, I felt the bump. I felt the inflation. I ain't even dead. It's just the scarcity is there's no more of you to go around and perform. So that increases the value, and that increases like our thoughts and demand of you. Kobe, when he was alive, is looked at
everybody. T-Mac's a good one. I mean,
in a bad way or a good way? Like pro Kobe?
Well, I know they was always cool. Like him, before Kobe died, I seen him do interviews. I seen Kobe sunned him a little bit in an interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when he was like, yeah, we played 1-on-1. And T-Mac was like, oh, I don't remember that. He's like, I beat you 11-3. And he's like, oh boy. He's like, you think I just made that score up out of nowhere? Like, I specifically remember he's like, oh, well, I wasn't really playing serious. And he's like, yeah, you were.
Okay.
He's like, it just wasn't your day. It's okay.
It's okay.
But you can see the hurt in T-Mac's eyes in that moment. Like,
wow, I got to dig that up.
So now when I hear T-Mac saying things like, and he might believe it, but when I hear him saying things like, I mean, if I had Shaq on my team, I would have won a championship. That's like a little shade to me. Like, if
that sounds shady? Be real.
Yeah, because he was something like if he was on the Lakers or whatever, like. I guess you got to hear the whole conversation.
Yeah,
to
he was like, tell me I wouldn't have won championships if I had been on that team.
Right.
Instead of Kobe.
Right. It's the exact argument what they use against Kobe at times when they're like, well, yeah, you won a championship. You had Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq.
They're not like, yeah, we know that, but how they're saying it is in a way where they're trying to like kind of diminish your.
I don't know. You starting to sound like a wife because you know every argument we have with our wives is always the first layer. What did I say? Well, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. What do you mean how I said it? Well, I said it, I was right, and you don't like it, so now we go to the tonality, and that's what wives do. At least my wife.
They do that.
So,
but some things,
Mac did that.
Some things there are context, and based on how somebody responds, you would take that. For example, like we just used, when you say people like, oh, well, Kobe only won those rings because he had Shaq. That's a true statement. We could say that. But you can tell how they're saying it, that they're using it in a way to diminish his
weaponizing the context,
right.
Which is it's weird because I'm with them actually saying that. Like look, like who said? I think
that's why
T.O. or someone said it. Like if I played for the Cowboys in '93, do you know you could name their whole O line? Like people were like, well, I could have ran behind that O line like Emmett did, you know. And I understand how that feels like a shot, but then it's also like, dog, it is like if you play with Shaq, that version of Shaq. And you were that level of good, which is only what, Kobe? I mean, Dunk in different position, but who was there in 2001 through 04? Kobe, Duncan, who else? T-Mac.
T-Mac was there.
Like a
Vince
Garnett,
Carter.
maybe
Garnett,
Paul
but different
Pierce.
positions.
Oh,
But
you talking about
Shaq
guard.
and any one of them,
Right.
wasn't that going to do it? I mean, I know it feels weird to say it, but ain't that true?
But that's why I sent you that clip yesterday because everybody always does that, and me and Terry have talked about this. But when you look at everybody acts like Shaq carried Kobe. They were really a 1-2 punch, and they were pretty equal with each other. They just Shaq's dominance looked different, but Kobe was dominant in a whole different way. Kobe, the whole 2001 playoffs, everybody was talking about, oh, Kobe averaged 27 in the finals, and Shaq averaged, I think, 33. But if you look at the whole playoffs up to that point, Kobe was averaging 30.7 and Shaq was averaging 30.6. So they were equal. Huh?
So how did Kobe dip down so much? The finals he didn't
Well, I
do
think
well?
in the finals he must maybe Shaq
2001
just
he's playing against
Shaq just might have taken it to a different level.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Tim McElvain or some shit.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is he was clearly a dominant player. He was averaging more than Shaq through that whole playoff run until he got to the finals. But people love to act like based on final stats, like, oh, Kobe just wasn't that guy.
See, this is what's weird about it. When it helps your argument, you say he was carrying them until the finals. No,
I didn't say he carried them. I said they were
equal.
Yeah.
But then we always use as the equalizer or actually the answer, what did they do when it mattered most, which is the finals. And then you could be like,
He still was averaging 27.
But the
That's
argument
what they always say.
But when we look at every team the Lakers played in the finals, like their hardest series were always in the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
Either the Spurs or San Antonio. When we get to the finals, it was pretty much
easy.
There's going to be
They played the
at the most
Sixers.
5 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So of course Shaq dominated older Dikembe and Tim McIlvaine, or he dominated. Well, I think
Sounds like an actor.
I think that's who it was. I think it was something like that.
Dwight,
Or then the center from New Jersey. I don't even know who that was. I mean, they had.
I forgot who
who that was.
The
Exactly.
ball head.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
of course he dominated people who weren't even like top 20 at their position. I mean, he's gonna get his point.
But then Jordan and the Bulls have weak matchups too.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, right.
Because I was just about to use
So
that.
that neutralizes
That's the
it.
same thing that gets used against the Bulls.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
Last
oh, when
week.
the Bulls played in the finals, they didn't play against nobody. Yeah, because
Nobody.
their hardest competition was in the East.
East.
They beat all the top teams were on the East, so they had to go through them just to get to the finals.
Yeah.
By the time they got there, it was easy.
Yeah. So that doesn't help Kobe's case in terms of closing that GOAT conversation.
well, it does because like Kobe was the one who was closing those San Antonio series.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like those series were some hard series, and Kobe was the one who brought him out of those series.
Right.
Fourth quarter scoring, free
People
throws.
just look at the stats, and that's all they
Do
see.
you all
yeah.
have Kobe in your top 10?
Okay.
Kobe's top 2 to me.
He's definitely top 5 to me. I don't
Yeah.
know
But when?
when he fell out of that conversation.
I'm saying, when did he
After he
get
died.
in? When did you put him in? Because I showed you guys those 4 publications. Like in 2015, ESPN, TNT, was it Fox Sports, Bleacher Report, Sports Illustrated. Those 4. Sorry, no TNT. Kobe wasn't in the top 10, and that's his media. I get it, but it still was industry wide. They put that out there and then they took whatever came with it. But that was 4 different publications didn't have him. I remember in 2015, because that's the year before he retired, and he was starting to break down, obviously. And I worked at ESPN LA, which is for 8 years with Max Kellerman. We were the home of the Lakers. We did nothing but 4 hours of Laker talk. I'm not you or Terry in terms of basketball knowledge, but when it came to like the Lakers, I had to do it. And I was like, I remember from 2010 through 2018, so this is even when he retired, people compared him to Jordan stylistically. People compared him to Jordan in terms of he's the closest thing to Jordan. But I never heard GOAT. That was me, 8 years of work. I did hear some people and some players especially saying, oh, Kobe, man, he tough. He the hardest worker. His mentality, oh, he's insane. But then I was looking around industry-wide. I never saw it on paper, and I only saw it in a couple of interviews, and usually it was somebody who either played with him or he gave business to. Jalen Rose gave him some love. Metta World Peace gave him some love. A couple other guys. So my point is, like, when did he – and I got a list of people who said he's close to Jordan, but – not GOAT.
I saw those lists, and Akeem Olajuwon was on, I think, all 4 of those lists. Would you put Akeem better than Kobe?
Yeah.
Right now?
What?
I would.
Really?
I did then. I did a list in 2021.
That's crazy.
And I think I had Olajuwon. And look, I could swap that. That's fine. But that still don't make you – you're talking about that 8 to 10 range.
Was
7
Shaq
10.
on that list?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have Kobe ahead of Shaq? You know they played together.
Yeah, I know.
I think everybody has Kobe ahead of Shaq.
No, I'm somebody.
Well, most people.
Yeah.
You do?
I would. Yeah.
Damn, this is that Kevin Garnett. This is the Durant, Steph Curry. How does someone ever play with someone else, and that person was in their prime too? I outshine you, but you're going to climb higher than me.
Because he fell to the bottom.
Shaq fell off, we get it.
And Kobe fell all the way to the bottom and climbed all the way up and won again.
Yeah.
That's part of the narrative.
No,
That's part
real.
of the mystique of
That's real.
Kobe. That's the legendary part of Kobe. So, I mean, that's part of why people are putting him into
going to 3
GOAT
straight
conversation.
Going to 3 straight, winning 2.
Also, because I saw you sent that yesterday. Can we fact check that list is from 2015? Because 2 reasons why. One, it looked like it was from 1995.
Yeah,
like the color on it.
Yeah.
Like
That's how
in 2015,
old me
color
look.
didn't look like that. In 2015,
You wanna see my game
that
film?
looked like it. Literally looked like NBC
Yeah.
when they had
That's
basketball.
10 years ago.
I'm about to say.
But life comes at you fast.
No, but look at that graphic. I don't know if you saw it recently. It looked like from the 90s.
Man.
No, when I look at that list, I don't think anybody on there, if I remember, I don't remember all the names, so I could be wrong. But I feel like everybody on that list was from like pre-2002. Like who on that list outside of like a...
No, Tim Duncan was on there.
Okay.
Duncan, who else?
LeBron was on there.
LeBron.
I didn't see LeBron on there.
I saw him on a couple
LeBron
of
was
that list.
The list that he's talking about?
Yeah.
I gotta look
Same
that
list.
up, 'cause I didn't
Like
see
it's
LeBron.
tough. Like I swear, if I were a hater, I would tell you. I just don't remember it. I know we had to cover it. Max Kellerman had a quote too. I even covered Max's quote. He was like, Max said Kobe was never ever the best player of his generation or best player that year. And I'm like, damn.
What does he mean by best?
Like, I mean, you tell me, like, every time you try to insert Kobe name, you got to say Duncan or you got to say LeBron. Maybe I would say that 35-point, but they didn't win that year, but 35 points a game and he was eating.
I was saying LeBron was the best early on before he won.
So good point.
So what are we talking about? Like, what makes you the best? Because if it's going by points, Kobe had 35.
The 35
if
year.
If going by championships, Kobe won 2 without Shaq and went to 3 finals and went through maybe the Spurs one of those runs. And the Spurs won again after that, so it was a good team.
Yep.
So
I'm looking for it
That-
right now.
As
He said Kobe was never the best player in the league at any point in his career. Max
That's
said
crazy.
that 2018.
Because then I
What
sent,
year?
When you sent me that, I had sent you something on ESPN where they did Player of the Decade from 2000 to 2010, and it was voted as Kobe. So how was he like? That says it right there.
right.
Actually, it doesn't.
He had a stretch where he was clearly the best player in the league.
Well, let's take on one. Player of the decade doesn't automatically make you GOAT conversation or even like top 5. Because
Well, I
be
didn't say
real,
he was the
because it could be one decade where them players all like Bird, Magic. Who else in the 80s that you would say probably Jordan if you want to count the 80s or the 90s? But there could be 5 you put in from the 80s, and then you're like, all right, you won it in 2010, but we ain't put. You're 6. And is that GOAT conversation if you're 6?
Well, no, me thinking he's top 2 is not based on that. I already thought that.
No,
I'm just saying I saw
that.
that yesterday.
No,
but,
you're saying player of the decade. Like, you could be player of the decade and still like.
well, no, because you said nobody ever thought is that Max Kellerman? You said that wrote that? He said Kobe at no point was ever the best player in the league.
Yeah.
But if they're saying he's the player of the decade.
But what if 1 year, 10 years, 1 year you're number 1, then the rest of the years you start falling off like a Shaq did or whatever. Then Kobe is like number 2, number 2, number 2, number 2, number 3, that's how you can get it.
You know how we knew when Kobe was the best player on the planet? When they made the Redeem team because they couldn't win Olympics.
Yep.
They brought him in.
They brought
him to play with LeBron and Carmelo and CP3 and all them.
Okay.
To solidify that they was going to win gold. And what happened? In that last gold medal game, Kobe had a bunch of steals, hit that big shot, told them to shh. You know what I mean? That solidified that year. He was the best player in the league. That's 1 year.
he carried. He was that.
Yeah, I don't
team.
think Max is right on that.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's
was
kind of
arguing.
crazy.
A terrible take.
I'm not arguing the validity of what they're saying because it's just their opinion, like it's just your opinion. What I'm saying is this was a lot of people with a lot of power, influence, platform saying exactly the opposite of what is being said now. And Kobe ain't played none, and now is not with us. So why the shift other than the martyrdom effect? Because this list, y'all want to hear names? This list is long. People saying Kobe ain't the GOAT. Jordan, Phil, Jackson, Barkley, Durant, Pippen, Shaq, Grover, his trainer, Jordan's, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, Jalen Rose, Mike Wilbon. Mike Wilbon said he's one of the greatest ever, but he's not GOAT status. This is
GOAT and top 5 is 2 different conversations. Though.
Right.
We're saying he's top
I'm not
5. Nobody said he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
well. First of all of this you talking about online is about Kobe was in the GOAT conversation.
He's in the
He's
conversation.
top 5.
You can have it's like the conversation. It's like who's the best rapper of all time, and somebody's like, I think LL Cool J is the best rapper of all time. He's in the conversation. I don't think he is, but I understand why you said that because there's a lot of facts that backs up why he's the best rapper of all time.
So let's get on the same page first of all, because to me, top 5 is a cop out. Daddy, MJ come back. I said, oh, y'all had your race today. How'd you do? Oh man, I got top 5. He got 5th. Ain't nobody ever said top 5 and they were 1.
I knew you was going there.
Ain't nobody ever said top 5 and they 2.
But none of us think he's number 1.
Oh no, we got to walk. So the point is, this is the conversation that you're talking about. You're referring to that's online. Kobe was in the GOAT conversation when he was playing, and then we're like, when? And everybody was like, everybody want to now change it to top 5 because that includes what they thought. But the conversation wasn't that. This is a ring culture conversation that started with T-Mac and it started with Gil. They turned that and was like, hold on. Y'all trying to determine that LeBron ain't the GOAT because he ain't got the rings. But y'all made up some culture. And that was used to prop up Jordan and to diminish LeBron. So then he said, well then, how come in 2002, T-Mac was as good as Kobe? And if it was all about rings, GOAT conversation, why Kobe ain't in it and wasn't in it when he had 5? And why would you break up with Shaq when you got 3 back to back to back if it's all about rings? So it's a conversation. Let's have the GOAT conversation. Was he ever in it?
Yes.
When?
I don't know about everybody else, but when he was playing, I thought he was in that conversation then. I remember early when they were trying to compare him and LeBron, and I could never understand why, because I'm like, he's achieved more than LeBron. And when I watched him play, he was always, to me, the better player. Even when he would play against LeBron, I feel like you could see it in LeBron's eyes. Like, he knew Kobe was the better player. So to me, I never thought, I always thought Kobe was in that conversation.
So your win is what? What we saying? 08, 09?
I think when he...
Because I got Shannon Sharp saying Kobe was never better than Jordan, and I don't think he was ever better than LeBron. And that dude went all in on being a Laker LeBron lover.
I think...
this is in 2018.
He was ever better than LeBron? Like, he's just saying LeBron came out of high school in 18 and 2003 was better than Kobe Bryant. What the fuck are we talking about?
I think,
like, seriously, I think this whole thing is based off LeBron's insecurities.
Yeah.
That's the genesis of this whole conversation.
You really believe that?
Listen,
okay.
LeBron, what happened?
2018, Shannon said that.
This is all about LeBron's insecurity about wanting to be the GOAT and people not calling him the GOAT. So he farted in the elevator, and now we gotta sit here and smell it while he walks away. We're sitting here having these conversations. He started the conversation. We done dragged T-Mac in it. It was like, yo, T-Mac, he wasn't as good as Kobe. Period. And it has nothing to do with rings because we hold Allen Iverson in the same high regard. It's about everything else. It's like that pie chart we talked about last week. It's not just your rings. It's your legacy, your impact on the game, and all that shit. T-Mac didn't have that. He had a great 3-year window, and after that, it was embarrassing first-round exits and injuries that took away his career. So no, you're not in the conversation.
Okay.
Period.
Okay, and I love that, passionate, real.
I got a point about that,
I just
too.
think that we are still not trying to hit the target here. I worked at 2010 to 2018 every day for 4 hours minimum talking about the Lakers as one of the co-hosts of the Home of the Lakers show with Max Kellerman, who I just read you his quote, which is kind of like, damn. We have no reason to lie. Kobe used to come on our show for hours. We used to hang with Kobe. I just don't remember, and I don't misremember things like this. I don't remember when they were saying GOAT Kobe. I do remember them saying he's the closest thing to Jordan. But you could be the closest thing to Barry Sanders or wherever you think is a GOAT and something, but we're not considering Tom Brady. We're not considering Bruce Smith. I think what happened is people conflate this conversation and say, he's the closest thing to Jordan, so he gotta be like up there. When really they're saying, yes, he's the closest thing to Jordan, but we ain't talking about Kareem. We ain't talking about Duncan. We ain't talking about Magic. We talking about, they are in a whole different conversation of the GOAT versus Kobe.
I think it's my fault. I just think
go get it.
I think it's LeBron's fault because he has been trying. No, listen, I'm telling you, he's been trying to.
We never talked about LeBron in 2018
he's been trying to
LA
force
radio.
him being the GOAT down our throats, which has made people go back and reevaluate other stuff.
Yes,
and then
for
you're
good
like,
reason.
Wait a second, hold up. Kobe did this and that. Why? He came back. He walked off the court from an Achilles injury. He won 5 titles. He won 2 Olympics. Like. His mentality has influenced the game, the players is right now. Like, why aren't we talking about this guy more instead of just automatically cutting him out?
That's a good answer. So you're saying it's not martyrdom effect. You're saying now after reevaluating, y'all didn't give Kobe enough love.
At first, but then throughout the martyrdom, we reevaluated and was like, wait a second. There's a whole body of work that we see here that I think will qualify somebody for being in this conversation. And we're skipping past this.
Because Kobe wasn't liked by the media and he didn't like the media as much. Is it that?
First 18 and a half years of his career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Kareem is not adored and doesn't adore media either. Right. And no one was walking around here slighting Kareem. Kareem didn't get enough love, but he got love. He got GOAT conversation love because everybody kept saying, All right, he took it from Jordan. We get it. But why Kareem ain't? Every time you bring up a GOAT conversation, what do you hear? Why Kareem ain't in it? He's the most decorated basketball player ever, right?
Yeah.
But I never heard it until recent times. Kobe in that same conversation. Because when LeBron passed, I'm sorry, I got to quote somebody who says it because all these people say it. Colin Cowherd, Kobe's great, but the GOAT debate is MJ versus LeBron. Levitar, Nick Wright, I told you, Skip, Stephen A., Chris Broussard, everybody that we like or we listen to, Kendrick Perkins, whatever. Who cares? Kobe's a top 5 player, like you said, but LeBron's the GOAT. LeBron. Now, that's Kendrick. I don't know. My point is, when did Kobe get in the conversation that I thought was just for Jordan, Kareem, and then LeBron passed Kobe? When did Kobe even enter that conversation? Like realistically, like a real date. Like
for
you're like,
me, I felt like from 05 to like 2011, Kobe was the best player in the league. That's what I feel.
That's tough.
And I thought that he was.
Them 05 through 07, 08, Kobe was about to become a Clipper.
Nah, but he was still Kobe.
He was going to Chicago.
What he was doing, he was putting up numbers. He was going crazy.
Oh, no, he was insane.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like
But that don't
he
mean
already
you
had.
go.
I'm speaking on my opinion though. Why I put him there because he had won 3 championships already. He was dominant in all 3 of those championships. Then the one that they lost right after, that's when he was going through the rape trial, and he was coming up and putting 40 a game. Like he was playing on another level. And then I feel like
there's a lot of holes in that. He's dominant, but Shaq's more dominant. He's going through a trial.
I didn't say he was more dominant than Shaq. I just said he was dominant.
Yeah,
they were both dominant. Like the numbers show it. They were both dominant during that playoff run and in the
05,
finals.
you had him passing Shaq. Shaq didn't even have a bad year by then.
But Shaq was starting to go like this.
But we're saying something different. Shaq had not had a bad year by 05. Like, flip the calendar. How does Kobe better than somebody who was more dominant than him?
Because I feel like Kobe was better than Shaq in 04, the finals that they lost to Detroit. Like, I feel like he was better then.
Okay, well, then that's 1 year. Shaq got 2 at least on you. And then we're going to talk about the years they didn't win together before Phil.
I'm saying 05 to 11, I think Kobe was the best. I think you brought
that's
Shaq in.
early.
I'm saying he was better than Shaq in 04. I'm saying 05 to 11, I think he was the best player in the league.
I'm saying
like straight across.
If you say 04 and 05, that's fine. But Shaq has been better than you, and I was your teammate, and I got more decorated accolades than you.
But not 05 to 11, not 05 to 2011.
No,
you talking about
started
before that.
in 05. In 05, you literally said Kobe is better than Shaq by putting it.
Yes,
because you never put Shaq in that GOAT conversation.
No, I think Shaq is he's in my top 5.
Okay, what's your top 5?
I say Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Shaq, and Steph. Now,
no old school love in that sucker. Okay.
I would have had. I think Steph took out Magic for me, and LeBron took out Bird.
I'm with that. I'm with all that. I just don't know how.
AI was in there at one point too. But then,
okay, now we can stop
Steph.
talking. Okay, so
But then came Steph.
What year did Shaq go to Miami and win?
I think it was 06.
06.
No, they. 05.
05, 06. Yeah, right.
They won that ring in 06.
Or it was the year that they
He
got beat
was
by the
lesser.
Pistons.
He was a little lesser.
Yeah,
but
that
he
was
still-
D
by the
Wade's
Pistons
team
and he
at
left?
that point.
Yeah, huh?
Did he get beat by the Pistons and then he left? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
04-05 then. 04-05.
Yeah, they lost to
And
the
then the
Pistons.
next year they won.
04-05, right?
Yeah.
I think was it 04-05? I think they lost to the Pistons.
Yeah, I just don't agree with your timeline because there's no way I could ever respect someone saying, I played with this dude for 7 years, and 6 of them I was better than him, and then he goes in 1 year, so that's 2 total. He's better than me.
But I think that's where we disagree because you think that Shaq was better than Kobe that whole time they were together. I don't think that's true. I think those last 2 years.
You said that. You said now it's last 2 years.
I said from 05 to 2011, I think Kobe was the best. You brought up Shaq into that. You said, oh, well, they played together all this time.
Yeah.
Shaq was better than him.
You said
that's
the
not
last
true.
year. You said the last year.
The last 2 years.
Now you
I
added
can
another
argue.
year. You just said
I'm
the
saying,
last
yes. You keep trying to jump in. I said 04. He was better than Shaq.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying I could argue 03, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with 04 and say for sure I think he was better than when they were going to the Pistons.
They were together 7 years, and you trying to say you may give him a 1 and a possible, and he better than the other dude?
But what you keep bringing up the 7 years of them together. What does that have to do with 05 to 2011? They weren't together then no more.
I know that.
One
but you
player
started
can change.
the clock.
A player can change in a year.
Can you listen?
I
At 05, why would you start a clock on somebody who I've been playing with for 7 years and I've not been better than him for maybe 1 or 2?
Because I looked at what Kobe was doing from 2005 to 2011, and nobody in the league was
You don't know
messing
what
with him.
2011 looks like in 2005.
Well, I'm speaking about now. I'm speaking in hindsight.
I
I'm
know.
saying right now.
So why'd you start the clock in 05?
Because you asked me. You said what year did he not
my
ask?
God.
This man asked what he said.
You can't
In
be
what
this
year was
slow.
Kobe the best player in the league?
You can't be
Did
this
he
slow.
not ask that question?
I did. I know. I'm
So
agreeing.
I'm saying I answered that question,
yeah.
saying from 05 to 2011, I felt
And
he
you
was the
won't
best
answer
player in
this
the league.
question. How did he pass?
Guy,
How did he
trying
pass
to move the
Shaq?
goalposts.
No, they're right here. 05. How do you pass Shaq? You played with him for 7 years, and he was better than you for 6, maybe 5.
Easily, he passed Shaq when they were together. In 04, we can look and see that Kobe was better than Shaq in 04.
Okay.
Look at him. That's why the Lakers chose to stick with Kobe over Shaq.
No, that's not the reason.
It plays into
No,
it.
it's
They
not.
knew he was the
No,
future.
not
They knew he
me.
was the
Don't
better
see-
player.
I had to work. I know the Lakers owners. Don't
You
do this.
got some inside baseball.
Y'all
so.
know the inside too, but y'all got to take off your Jordans and take off your Kobe's and then start just be like, why did you
Should I
pick
take
Kobe?
off my Jesuses?
yeah. It's obvious why they picked Kobe over him. One is simple, that Kobe was the younger player. 2, big men break down. 3, Kobe had won their fancy in terms of I will work for you, with you, versus Shaq, who was his own thing. Remember, they trying to bring Shaq back. Shaq ran Hollywood. Shaq was his own industry. And Kobe was just like, I'm all here for basketball. So it's not teacher's pet. It's just like, yeah, we're going to go with Kobe. And he was as good as you would say, if not better, by that time. I'm giving you all the credit. I'm just like, if I ever played with your ass for 7 years and I got you by 5 years for sure, and maybe a 6, and then 1 year you better than me, I hope nobody ever say you better than me, like in general at that time, because that's just not how sports works. Now, if you're on the outside, you say, oh yeah, and then you just kept going and you fell off, that's fine. But in that intersection right there, oh no, 05, please. I think if you had a top all-time list, right there, no one's putting Kobe above Shaq in 2005 as an all-time. Careers got to stop right
no,
there.
that's two different conversations.
No, it's
You're
not.
talking about all time. I said best in the league at that point.
yeah.
I didn't say Kobe in 2005 was an all-time great. I said he was the best in the NBA.
You can't keep our.
Did I not just say that?
Yes, but what's the
What are
conversation?
y'all hearing? Because y'all not saying, you did not just say that?
I know what y'all don't want to say. I'll say it for him. Dog, what
No,
you talking
let
about?
him say it.
It's
Did
the
I
GOAT
not say
conversation.
best
We're having
player?
a GOAT conversation. You keep trying to isolate. He got him right there. And I'm like, all right,
That's
so add
not-
that up to the GOAT conversation.
You spinning my words. You
not.
literally said, Max, I don't forget nothing, and I can quote everything you said verbatim.
That's a lie.
You said
You literally
Max
forgot
Kellerman.
you went to school every day.
That's why, as I say every week, I love that this is recorded because people could just
there you
scroll
go
back
with
and
his
watch me
catchphrase.
cook them.
There's
Watch
his
me cook them.
catchphrase.
He
Things
said,
to be true. I know all your phrases.
he said Max Kellerman
It's right here,
stated
quote.
that Kobe was never the best player in the league. I said,
Yeah.
no, you even said
Yeah,
Max
I
is
said
wrong
it
with
too.
that.
Wrong.
I
And
said
then,
it too.
and then you followed up with that and said, when was Kobe the best player in the league? Because I was working at ESPN LA and I interviewed him for hours, and I never heard that narrative.
No, that's
And
not what I said.
You did.
Stop it. Nope, we
Wait,
said
wait.
it. GOAT
And then I
conversation.
kicked in and
He
said,
lying. He lying.
You
I
asked
can't let
which
you
year,
finish.
what year was Kobe the best?
I said, when was
from
he the GOAT?
2005 to 2011, Kobe was the best player in the league. I never said nothing about
Just,
25.
I love you
05.
too much to keep doing this.
Please clip
No,
it
we
up,
don't need,
please.
No, we're not gonna do that. That's antics. Stop
I'ma
doing that.
clip
You know
it
we
up.
ain't gonna rewind it.
So
I
you're
said
asking-
that-
I'm
I
talking
said,
about the
when
people
was
that
Kobe in
watching
the
it,
GOAT
'cause
conversation?
they
You
comment.
said-
We
so
live.
That's the question. When it was in
The
the
question has
conversation,
never
in the
changed.
conversation,
We are arguing over what's the GOAT conversation. When's Kobe in it? Not when you thought he was better than somebody else
Not
for
true.
1 year.
You made a
I think the
statement about Max
conversation
Kellerman.
began within like the last 3 years. That's when the conversation began. Like when
2022.
I think when people were started to look at all of the YouTube clips and all the videos and having these conversations and just reevaluating a lot of things, then I think it was like, why aren't we even considering this with, like I said, with this body of work that he has? And I think that's
You
why,
feel anything about that? You feel that? Like, what if all of a sudden LeBron retires and then 3 years later we bump him up? You fine with that? Because Jordan got his flowers in the moment. Like, Jordan was the GOAT when he went to Washington. And we was like, damn, he going to Washington? All right. So I'm like, we cool with that?
you can come back. I gave flowers to Dwight Howard like later in his career. I was like, oh, he was really that dude. All right, I was wrong. You have the right to like change your opinion with more education you get. That's not a problem.
No, I love that. I'm with you there. I just want to say sometimes that feels like some other factors are at play. Because if I already played and you already saw it all, what you adding now? What are you adding? You only adding how you like something. You ain't adding what I did. You ain't adding real resume. You ain't adding like real production. You just adding, oh, I like you now, or something changed to make me like you now. No, I wouldn't feel that as a genuine inflation if everybody just now watching YouTube. Y'all want to watch YouTube then? Like, come on now. That doesn't make sense. Blaze, you can still talk. Like,
I was letting him get his point off.
He was done. Come on, Blaze.
This guy, he's trying to get me going. I still believe, and I'm thinking during that time, I think Kobe was in my top 5. I'm gonna say probably like 06, 07. I felt like he was top 5. And then when he won the 5th ring, it was like, oh no, he's
4th and 5th. Yeah.
4th was like, the 4th was cool. Like he got that one without Shaq. But when he won that 5th one, I was like, oh no, for me, that like solidified him.
What about
top
for
5?
What do you think for, all right, you say for me a lot, which I get. What about for
because it's all subjective.
Yeah, no. But some things ain't. Like,
like
Barry Sanders,
like Jordan being the GOAT.
Well, that is too. That's subjective.
I just did that to get you going.
Like, some things ain't, and that like
There's only a few ain'ts.
there's only a few. Yeah.
LeBron ain't the GOAT.
No, he ain't.
No, he ain't.
No, but y'all know he is. Like, gun to head, could LeBron be the GOAT?
No.
Could he?
Could.
He could be.
Because
He's still playing.
He is to some.
He's still playing.
And
yeah.
you're like, okay. Like, I wouldn't. All right, this is what I always say. Dog, is Jordan the GOAT? Yeah,
Yes.
if you want him to be. Is LeBron the GOAT? Yeah, if you want him to be. Is Kobe the GOAT? No. I mean, and I'm not, like, you can't say, like, so he's not the GOAT. Is Kobe the GOAT?
No.
Okay, good. So I'm still alive. Okay, is he in the GOAT conversation? Yes, he is now. When did he get into it? I think recently. Like Terry just said.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But you're saying, okay, Kobe was in the GOAT conversation 09?
Yeah, by 09 for sure. I think he was in that conversation.
Ooh.
See, the weird thing to me was not seeing Kobe's name on top 10 lists. Forget the GOAT conversation. I thought he was getting slandered because people weren't putting him on their top 10 list.
Kobe better
which
than
I think
Hakeem.
is absurd.
But who you taking off? You want to see it or you
Listen,
remember?
if you lined up every basketball player who ever played, Kobe would probably be my 2nd or 3rd pick.
Kobe's better than Hakeem. Kobe's better than, and Duncan and Kobe played at the same time.
Better than
battled, and nobody ever said Tim Duncan was better than Kobe. Is Tim Duncan great? Is Tim Duncan? He's the greatest power forward of all time. But nobody ever put Tim Duncan over Kobe while they were playing.
Man, Timmy was not playing.
Yeah, but he
First
wasn't.
of all, Timmy was like,
nobody ever said he
Timmy
was
like,
over Kobe.
I ain't got what you got, and I got what you got.
Yeah,
No,
he
so
was
at
great.
some point you said that Tim Duncan was the best player in the league.
No, yeah.
You had that
You
conversation?
had to.
You think-
I don't know what year, though.
He was
I'm trying to
never-
think 04,
never.
maybe that
I don't
Detroit
know if
loss.
I don't ever remember
He was
anybody
never
saying
the
he
best
was
player,
the best
in the league. Never.
Who?
Tim Duncan.
Oh, no. They ain't say it because he
That's,
wasn't
that's what
marketable.
you just
That's
asked.
what I'm saying.
No,
like, so
no,
what-
but I'm saying he was.
But we never had that conversation. But
Yeah, we ain't had a conversation.
Right.
Because Tim Duncan, you can't say nothing good. Didn't the league come out one time, or at least it was every commercial, like every broadcaster? I hope San Antonio don't make it because they were going to play, I think, New Jersey or something.
San Antonio.
And I remember that people were like, please don't let it be
They
San
had a
Antonio.
great system. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was a
He
great.
was incredible.
Hold
He's
on,
a-
not a better system
I
than
gave
Phil
him credit
Jackson.
off the rip. I
Not
said
a better system than a triangle.
I said he's the best power forward of all time.
Yeah.
Like there's no debate in that to me. But during that time when they were playing, nobody ever said Tim Duncan was better than Kobe.
I don't think
So
that
on that list, I'm taking him. I'm putting.
I don't
Kobe.
think that you even look at them like playing against each other, but Duncan, to me, Duncan was more revered than Kobe. He just didn't market himself and do anything that add to the conversation so we could talk about him. But Duncan got 5 with no back-to-backs. And he always was the alpha. Yeah. Dog.
Not on the first one. But yeah.
Well, I don't know.
David
What's the
Robinson
name?
was still the alpha.
David Robinson was
the
the
first
admiral
one,
was
yeah.
saluting.
He was on his way out, but he was still the alpha.
Nah.
Right was on the wall for
No.
her.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
was
yeah,
still,
done.
he was
done.
he was on his way out.
Duncan
but he was
was
still
that
the
dude.
alpha.
He that dude.
Doug was that dude. Okay, you can say Doug. All right, so are you taking Jordan off? No.
No, I'm taking Duncan,
LeBron?
Hakeem, Bird.
LeBron?
I gotta keep.
I would
Bird.
take Kobe over Bird any day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Any day.
Kobe's better than Bird. Bird has his history and what he brought to the game. Obviously, is always going to keep him up there in that conversation. But Kobe's better than Bird, just like LeBron is better than Bird.
Anybody that can score volume points and D up the best player on the other team
That wasn't very efficient. But
is more valuable to me.
I think we shouldn't do that to Bird because Bird came in when they were like, what's this? Oh, it's a three-point line. What do I do? Shoot from there. Oh, okay. And he only shot 3 a game. Now, you fast forward 10, 15 years, they shooting them a lot more, and then you fast forward to now, they shooting them a lot more. But
That's what people use with LeBron against White.
Bird, they won 20 games the year he got there, before he got there. The next year, they won 61. Suckers was eating. This dude was next level.
No doubt.
As the dude, like you could say all them Hall of Famers. How did that drink get stirred? Larry Bird.
Listen, he was
not
great.
not a Shaq over there.
It's not. I'm not trying to demean Bird's career.
No, I get it.
But
I'm not
I would
trying to
take
talk
Kobe over Bird any day.
Okay, all right. Well, we know Bill Russell. Y'all gonna take Kobe over Bill Russell?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. Top 10.
Yeah.
He was in my top 10 list, so I'm arguing for the crowd, not for myself. But
I don't know.
And quietly, I would take Wilt Chamberlain over Kareem. I don't even understand.
oh, now you really want to get some.
Really?
That's before my time.
Absolutely.
I ain't really
Have
watched
you-
him like that.
just
But they said
look at-
Kareem always dominated.
They
Wilt.
changed the rules because of Wilt Chamberlain. That's
But-
where the 3
and
seconds
Kareem.
came.
And Kareem, too.
Kareem, if that's your argument, we got one for Kareem. Stop dunking.
They couldn't dunk
You couldn't dunk.
because of Kareem.
See, this is what we doing
Yeah.
here. Y'all better be nice.
And then this man made the most unstoppable shot of all time because you couldn't dunk.
Yeah.
And that's incredible.
Well, Wilt must have had something that was pretty unstoppable too.
But here's
I hate
the
those.
thing.
He was
I'm not hating on Wilt.
No, we not hating.
berserk,
Here's the only reason why I can't
even
put
though
Wilt
he didn't talk to me.
Oh, yes. He
Forgot
can't.
about that
The reason
story.
why I wouldn't put Wilt above them is because they all played in the same, their times crossed in eras. Wilt got what, 2 chips?
Yeah.
And Kareem got 6. And Bill Russell got 11. So if y'all all played in the same era, how they got 6 and 11 and you only got 2?
Well, Bill Russell played.
I can tell you, worst teammates.
Yeah,
The
where's-
simplest argument always.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Russell had like 7 Hall of Fame
He got
teammates.
and
It's
a
crazy.
coach in the
I know, but we all talking
and
about
so did Kareem.
Yeah, exactly.
But to me, that also
Wilt
plays
had
into
Jerry
that.
West. That
For
was
like a
about
few
it.
years.
Yeah, that was it.
And that was from Baylor.
Dog, if I would have got drafted to the Patriots, just drafted. Listen to this. On a rookie deal and just stayed there, I would have had 3 championships before I even was like, oh, what's the NFL? Like, sometimes it just adds that way. And I think that
Yeah, but I'm not talking about like bench championships. I'm talking about
Well, even if
star
I
of the
started.
team. Like star of the team, you will your team. You carrying that team. The best player in basketball typically can will their teams to championships.
Okay.
I'm not saying, they got 1 more chip than him. Kareem got 6. Bill got 11.
Yeah.
You
But
battling
one-
with them. That's a significant difference.
But Kareem got 5 in the 80s.
Yeah.
He got that one.
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
one then.
Right. Yeah.
So Bill.
But Wilt was playing during that
With
time.
Not in the 80s.
No, not in the
when
80s.
did
Wilt
he
was
stop
done.
playing?
We'll stopped around like 74 or 75.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
early
realize
to
he stopped that
mid-70s.
early.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was done.
And-
He played more against Bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's only one star, like the conversation is just laughable to me because it's like, is there one star or is there 2 stars on the team or are there multiple stars? Because one got to be the biggest star. So then what do you do with the Shaq, Kobe 3 rings? Do you give them, how much you giving to Kobe? I mean, you're not 50-50 in those in terms of legacy. You kind of got to give, because that's why Kobe felt the way he felt when he got his 4th. And that's why Shaq was rapping the way he was rapping when he left Kobe and how he felt with Dwayne Wade. That's the tough part. So I think really why Kobe wasn't in the conversation is because people didn't give him those. I think they only gave him 2 and 3 possibles, like playing some spades. And they didn't give him 5. And maybe now people are saying, let's give him 5 because who knew? It's a different conversation.
YouTube was a
I
beast.
definitely think Kobe's better than a bunch of people on that list, though. That's where we were going with it. Some of them names, and they're all greats on that list.
No,
but you
I know
can't
that.
convince me that. And I like Hakeem Olajuwon. I think he's amazing. He ain't better than Kobe.
He's not better than Kobe.
It's not better than Kobe. It's not even
No
close.
way.
It's not even close.
Not even close. Nor was he as impactful or.
And I don't want to diminish his range.
Y'all forget how he was having Shaq who was doing it. looking like
he was elite.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
He had better footwork, no question.
Just because you're not.
and he won the only 2 that anybody could get, and when Jordan was gone.
Right, and when
But he
Jordan
didn't
came
win.
back, that was it.
That's it.
So he
Right.
got and that's
Because
what I was
he
gonna say.
didn't have the
And
teammates.
I don't want to take it away from him, but we gotta. The facts are the facts. If Jordan doesn't go out those years, does Hakeem win them championships? Do we look at Hakeem the same way if he didn't
I
get
would
those
say
2
a
rings?
maybe. I would have said a yes, but Jordan has showed that there was some emotional, mental fatigue where he wanted to tap out more than one time. Whatever you want to call that. And we went through that exercise before. Running 100 yards ain't the same as running 250s. You run 250s faster than you run 100. Come on.
I know.
So I don't give Jordan. I take someone away from Jordan from 3, break, 3. Like I'm like, that ain't the same as 6 straight.
as great as
Or
Hakeem
8th grade.
is, and I'm gonna say this because people like everybody acts like they don't hit. If you don't say something super positive, they take it as hate. As great as Hakeem is, do you think without those rings he's better than David Robinson?
Without the rings?
Without the rings.
Well, I don't even count rings. You know me. How many Robinson got? I don't even know how many Robinson got.
I think
2?
he has 2.
So I definitely don't count. Nah, he was better.
and those on the tail end.
He was. I would say I take Hakeem over David Robinson.
David
100%.
Robinson
Yeah.
100%.
was a monster.
Yeah, he was a
I'm
monster.
not saying that Hakeem is not better than him. I'm just asking because David Robinson I feel like is one of the most underrated Hall of Famers there is because he was putting up numbers. Didn't he drop 70?
I don't
he
know about
did.
that because underrated Hall of Famers.
David Robinson never gets brought up in conversation. It's probably because
Just like
Tim
Tim
Duncan came, but I think he got superseded by Tim Duncan because it was the same franchise
And San Antonio.
and he came and put up
Right.
And their
5 rings.
personalities. Yeah. Nah, I mean, I saw Hakeem where I was like,
Well, he was different.
I mean, we saw Hakeem abuse David Robinson in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, he
So
abused
we're like,
everybody.
That's
He
the
abused
answer
Shaq.
right there.
He abused.
We saw what happened when they played.
But everybody got a
They were
kryptonite.
shook.
There's always one player, no matter how good you are, there's that one player who just gives you the business.
Right.
yeah, but I think
Jordan was like that.
Yeah, I just don't do the ring thing because I know I'm almost like I almost look at people who do the ring thing and don't take this offensive, but take it. Like you dumb. Like what the fuck? Like don't y'all know there's a whole team out there?
Yeah, but that's
don't
part
you
of
know
the game.
Who coaches doing some shit that y'all wouldn't have won without? And like this whole like it's Jordan, and then Pippen's sitting there like, do you know what coach asked me to do? This is what happened to my son this weekend before he got hurt and he tweaked his ankle a little again. They had this kid, this big old kid, number 1, big old kid. And we put our little guy on him at first because he's really tenacious in defense. But then MJ was a little hurt, so they was like, all right, let's see what he can do. He said, this is what y'all want you to do. Don't let him do anything. That was it. So then I'm looking at MJ like, dog, will you like do more than just, he was like, Daddy, he told me just make sure number 1 don't do nothing. I was like, damn, all right. That's the game plan. Pippen was asked, guard their best dude. I don't care what position he play. That motherfucker play any position. Go, you got him. Not Jordan, you got him. Then give us 20-something.
Jordan did too, though. Let's not do that. Jordan was guarding the best players also.
No, also, but when it came down to it, Pippen was asked to do that and then get the credit that Jordan is getting for doing the same thing. So Pippen did those things. He just didn't average as many points. He averaged more rebounds. He didn't get more assists. Like, I'm just saying, I hate when I hear somebody say, how many rings he got? I'm like, because somebody who doesn't have rings is on a team where there is no Pippen. There is nobody to ask. You do it or it ain't getting done. That's why the ring conversation is so silly.
That's why it's a pie chart. It's just a piece of,
Well,
of the pie. It's not the whole.
I also, I'm
whole
sorry.
thing. Go ahead. It's just not the whole pie, but it's a piece.
Yeah.
I also think you look at for two things. One, you always said like when it comes to certain level of competition, you just said about 20 minutes ago, you're not that into it. No. And then I also think you look at things from a football perspective.
Oh, really?
Obviously as a football player.
That's the only thing I played. I was better in track than I was in football. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's an individual sport. So football is a team
relay.
sport. Yeah, it's not the same as football.
I'm
Let me get to the point though. Let me get to the point. In football, there's so many moving parts that you could be the best offensive lineman in the league. It don't matter if your quarterback is trash and you ain't got no receivers, or you could be the best receiver, but if your quarterback is trash, like it's so many moving parts to win in football. Mm-hmm. Basketball is predominantly based on your best player. So if your best player is that good, chances are he's getting you to the promised land, or he's at least getting you deep into the playoffs or to the finals. That's why you see most of the best players have championships. It's not like that in every sport. Yeah.
It's the most. That's
They
the most.
they
in every
take the
sport.
best player, and yeah, you could say it's a team sport, but they look at the best player and see what he brings to the table, and then they just add pieces around that to complement him.
I get what you're
you
saying.
still need to be that guy in basketball to win.
But if you have multiple guys like that, but you're getting outshined by that guy, that's why you win rings. And then the other guy who is as good as you, but he ain't got nobody else with him, doesn't win rings, and you start looking at him like he ain't the dude. That's silly.
Now you still need the best
That's
player.
silly.
So like when you asked earlier who went to the finals, and if you took that player off the team, they would still be good. Think of every NBA champion. If you took the best player off, it doesn't matter who else is on that team. If you took the best player, they're not winning that championship because basketball
Yeah, that's
is
how we started the
predominantly
conversation off.
because basketball is predominantly based on the best player. In football, you don't have to be the best player in every position.
Stop doing
to
football.
win.
You trying to dumb me down. I think in basketball terms.
This is not really about you. I'm explaining my whole point of.
But I think that
how
point
we're
is
looking at
flawed
it.
because you're not respecting that the teams and players who didn't have a championship are because they're number 2 and 3 and 4 ain't your 2, 3 and 4, but we giving all the credit to your 1. Karl Malone won twice MVP. Barkley, Nash twice. These are dudes that year the world said that they were the best player, whether you agree or not.
Well, that was because they didn't want to give it to Jordan every year.
Right.
Well, of course.
Right.
And Kobe has gotten robbed in that. LeBron has gotten robbed. They all.
Shaq got robbed.
Shaq got robbed. Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, Harden. There's years when Jokic won it and didn't win the championship, but we know he has won a championship. Embiid, Elgin Baylor. Like, my point is, though, that's 10 dudes in like 15 years. Oh, Will Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, that's 12 dudes. My point is, championships is not about a dude. I don't care what sport it is.
Yeah,
and you think it is in basketball. And it ain't. Because if it was, Jordan was more of a dude for more than 6 years. He didn't win it. He won it 6, but he won
it every time he was there.
Magic and Bird was talking about this dude in the 80s. He wasn't winning it.
I'm saying every time Jordan got there, he got to that point, he won.
But that's
Those guys,
a flawed point. You the dude in 87, why didn't you get there?
because he went against somebody else that was the dude.
Right, but he was supposed to be better. Magic and Bird declared him better in their minds in the game before he won the championships. My point is, it ain't just you because you the dude. You would have won. You didn't because somebody else had a number 2 that was probably better, and Pippen wasn't there yet, like fully engaged. We're talking about championships and how it's really a rounder conversation than look at Jordan. Because Jordan was better than other players even before he won his championships. That's what Magic and Bird told us. And we was like, yeah, but he still wasn't even making it. Because the Pistons had 2, 3, 4, and 5 more developed than the Bulls did at that time. Where are you with that?
I agree. I mean, every team has a process they got to go through to win a championship. And in the 80s, Jordan just wasn't there yet because you got to get Horace Grant and Pippen and Armstrong. Like, you got to develop those guys. So it is a team thing. We're not saying that one guy is going to drag a guy to a team to the championship. But
Well,
I do.
I was about to say he does.
I do think that.
See?
I think you need that one guy.
I mean, you need that
who
one
can
guy.
carry everybody else.
But your supporting cast has got to be some B+ players though.
You know what it is? This is the crutch. You ever been on crutches? You ever broke anything? Say no.
I broke stuff, but never on crutches like that.
okay.
Many times to count.
Yeah, exactly.
stuff.
Dragging somebody, carrying somebody, that's a figurative term. There's no literal to it because you can't drag nobody if they don't want to be drugged. So crutches, they teach you, they like, look, they'll hold you up, but you got to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing. I'm like, when I hear you say that about a team or a player, I'm like, no. We still got to do the work. You may hold us up, but we got to put in this work or else it doesn't work. And I just never been on any team in any sport where I'm like, even when we won in basketball, I told you my only basketball year, we won it all. We never lost a game, and all them dudes were D1. And I was like, because it was 3 of them. It wasn't because he was sick. Dwayne was sick. Byron was sick. He was sick. I sucked. But they all did it together. So
Typically in basketball, whoever has the best player is going to win. when I'm talking about we get to the finals,
that's a lie.
It's only I'm talking about in the finals though.
Oh.
I'm talking about in the finals.
Oh.
That we've only seen I think one time, and if there's others, you'd have to remind me when the Pistons beat the Lakers, because the Lakers clearly had the best players on that team, and they lost to that. But they was also going
to the finals. You got the best player in the league, and you ain't get there. That doesn't undermine
so
your own
many,
argument.
No, because there's so many. That's a deeper conversation. There's injury. People get to. I'm trying to minimize it to the finals because that's a specific series. Getting to the finals, like we've seen this year, there's players that get hurt, and then the team passes them because their best player got hurt. So that's a.
It's a different grind in
yeah.
the NBA. It's just too hard because like the only place where you can win and have one great player is in college. Like you look at like Carmelo,
high school,
Carmelo won. I don't know who else was on that team. Like Danny Manning won by himself. Like you can win by yourself in college because it's one game. You know what I mean? But like a whole series and in the NBA, that's tough.
College, I think you win in college because of the last part. It's not about who's the best player. It's because it's only one game. So anything can happen in that one game.
Well, I mean, you don't count the tournament.
I'm just saying, but he's talking about one
game.
game.
No, he's talking about winning.
Yeah,
he's talking about winning the whole thing.
And the best players.
I guess we're just journey destination people, right? I'm like journey, your destination, because we're talking about the end game.
I think it's both things, though. I think in basketball, you typically the best player can catapult you, but you got to have a team. Look at the Bulls didn't win until they got Bill Cartwright. They traded Charles Oakley away and got Bill Cartwright.
That part.
And that's when the Bulls started winning.
Right.
And it was a completely different team the year before Cartwright got there and the year after, because there was a hole in the lineup. You still got to fill those holes. Yeah. So I think both things are true. Like you like to say.
True. Right?
You got to have a great player.
But which one in priority?
But you also have to have the team. And
for
you're not
good TV,
for good
TV, you can't say, well, both things are true, and then leave it there. You got to say which one.
As you say, I'll answer for you.
I think you got great player. I think you got to have the great player and then plug the holes. Plug the holes the right way.
Right.
Yeah.
Build around.
There's a joke in there somewhere. A great player and plug the holes. I mean, I'm just saying.
Something in there. Something in there. I saw who else was beefing.
I saw something. That's good. I just want to throw this in there because I looked at something yesterday. I got to see if I saved it. But it said if you took the championships away. Did you see that? Yep. Between Jordan and LeBron? If you took the championships away, it was never close. Like if you look at Jordan's like accolades and stats and put it side by side with LeBron's, Jordan was beating him as the best player without the rings, and it was like the 6 rings was just the cherry on top.
Except the way I beat that up is the era was different, and I would never let anybody argue me different. Like watching people play basketball from 2004 to present day, and then watching people play basketball from '83 to. I'm not talking about Magic. I ain't talking about Bird. I ain't talking about any name you can name. I'm talking about them other dudes that were on the court were suspect compared to these dudes now. And it's just it. Look, I say it about my era too. Dog.
That's evolution.
It's evolution. And people want to act like that ain't a part of it or don't want to say it. I'm like, dog, do you know how many dudes that used to dunk? Like, look at probably some of the draft numbers, average draft numbers, median, not Jordan jumped 48 inches, which Dwight Howard was like BS. Dwight said, put your feet in the rim if you could jump 48. Stop lying. So, but the point is, dog, it was a league of like dudes who would just grab you out the air because they couldn't jump themselves. The physicality in sports is always about one thing. We can't beat them, so we're going to beat them up. That's every sport, every time. So I don't want to hear... Until you give me an equation that marks Jordan played against what other guards like him of his athletic ilk versus LeBron played against what? That's where I go on.
So you saying
LeBron play against?
I'm about to. You just killed your own point.
He's superior to all. Right. But I'm saying no. Remember, average, median. Y'all keep going to
I'm
the
saying
top.
like
the average dude.
Jordan went up against like Drexler and
yeah,
Latrell
but those are not average.
Sprewell.
No, I don't want the top dogs because I could go top dog in this era. Okay. I want number 4 through 8. Dude barely getting off the bench. Number 8.
It's the same now.
Nope.
These guys is. There's the elite players we talk about. That's why when you look on sports TV, every show talks about the same handful of guys, and everybody else is just in the middle. It's all of them is average.
Jamal Crawford played against Michael Cooper. You know how that would look?
And I'm glad, and I was gonna go there with that.
That's
We're talking
like number
about
6, 7. Like, let's be real. Like, and I'm picking Coop because Coop the best sixth man from that era, right? Mm-hmm. But give me somebody else. Give me another one. Like, what's my boy Lou Williams? Lou Williams playing against another sixth man from that era. Give me his name.
You know why that's not a fair
argument? Man, that's Cooks.
But here's why that's not a fair argument.
It's
because
fair to
you
me.
play against your era. So, yeah, they're better now because they watched these guys and then added on to it. Those guys, it's equivalent. People Jordan played is equivalent based on eras as who LeBron is playing.
I agree.
Because that's what's in front of them.
I agree.
Now, 20 years from now, they're going to be 10 times better than the people LeBron played against. And they're going to be like,
a bunch of
but
Wimbies.
I agree, but you don't agree because you discounted all the old guys on this list. I didn't see them.
No. I didn't do that. I just said Kobe was better than some of the guys on the list. I didn't discount anybody on there. I think everybody on there is an all-time great. I just think Kobe was above them.
You see them, and that's a different era.
No, I was talking about Wilt Chamberlain.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't watch everybody else. I saw. I mean, except for Bill Russell.
That's 2.
8 out of 10. I'm
you're
aware.
all right. I ain't do it. Well, I got 1. All right, 2. You did it. It's
you
okay.
said I negated everybody on the list.
I didn't
That's
say
not
negate.
a true
I said
statement.
discount. I said discount. See this
same thing, man. This guy's always doing this. It's the same thing. He like play semantics with the words. It's the same thing.
No, you're not particular with your words, and that's your
because
problem. You're mad.
We know exactly what I'm saying. Negating, discounting.
Let's talk rap.
It's the same
You
thing.
two are like that Spider-Man meme.
Oh yeah.
Where they just look
And then I just put my hand down.
Because every time I cook him, he moves the goalpost and tries to change the argument. You do it every single time.
First of all, I don't believe in cooking.
I know you don't.
But I don't think you really win these arguments.
I do.
Okay, so you win which argument did you win today?
Which one did I not win is the better question.
Okay,
Hey,
answer both.
let's ask the people who are watching us right now. Who's cooking who, y'all?
Never do that.
Yeah, you get lost.
Well, one, there's too many Jordan stands, and I hope y'all men.
That's what I'm saying. You get lost in the.
You can't.
in the
There's
argument.
too many Kobe stands and Jordan stands to have a real LeBron conversation.
It's a lot of LeBron stands.
No,
that's true.
but they're not compared to.
The people that's watching the live are probably more LeBron fans because probably a younger audience.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I see a lot of LeBron slander. You know why I see a lot of LeBron slander? It's because everybody think, like Terry said, they think LeBron's starting this. When I don't know if he's starting it or not.
LeBron didn't start it, but his team is definitely pushing the agenda.
He brought up ring culture. That's starting it.
Mm-hmm.
He's chopping down wood under the ring block as far as like how important it is to being part of your greatness. He started that. Yeah. That's why I said he farted in the elevator and ran off. He started it, and then now we got to deal with it.
But isn't that right? If you say he's starting it, even though we've had this conversation before, like I remember having ring conversations. Like, why are we always counting rings? Like, this ain't the first time we did it.
Right.
It's like this is the biggest star that ever jumped in the combo. Like, but why not? Because you just said it's a team award, and then if a guy who's on a team is like, look, why y'all giving me all the credit or dissing me when it's a team award? Why are you all of a sudden saying he farted in an elevator? He's saying what you think, but he just too big to say it? That's weird.
Because he's not. There's a lot of categories he's not winning. He's not gonna surpass. And so that's him building his argument for himself.
I literally just watched a clip, and you might have seen it with Charles Barkley. I saw it this morning, and it's probably from 3-4 years ago, and he was pretty much talking about rain culture, and he was like, "This is part of the game." Like he's like, this is what you sign up for. We all know what it is. He was like, yeah, I'm an all-time great. I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I know I didn't win. I'm not. There's different wings. Like I'm over here. I'm not over there at the table with Mike, with Larry, and Magic. Am I great? Yeah, but those rings mean something. He's like, I wasn't able to get it, so I can't act like. Pretty much, he was saying like, I can't act like that. These rings don't mean anything. It's I have to accept where I'm at, and that's over here. And we're all great. I'm just not them. And I think what Terry pretty much is saying is like, I think somewhat LeBron feels like he can't get over that hump with the Jordan conversation. So now what he's doing is trying to diminish the value of rings. instead of taking the Charles Barkley approach and be like, look, I'm great. I didn't get that ring. I didn't surpass him in rings, but I'm still great. I feel like he just doesn't want to own that. He's trying to control that narrative of I want to be considered the GOAT.
Okay, let me say this. I hope this is clean enough. I'm with LeBron on this one, and
that's because you're LeBron Sands.
Well,
you're one of them.
I could be
very
one.
biased.
I think I am.
He's very
biased. Think I am. Well, because I just think the motherfucker's insane. He's so good. It's because it's simple as this. I know it's a team award. Like, being real. Like, I've been on teams with amazing players. I play with Hall of Famers, LT, Drew Brees, Junior Seau, ballers. And that's football. So I'm going to do the equivalent in basketball. I could be on an insane team, the Trailblazers teams. Been on insane teams, you know, and look at Utah's teams. It doesn't matter. Why I don't respect rings fully and like you can win the room, but you ain't won me, it's simple as this. It's because you had a better circumstance. So it's kind of like how our childhood is. Like an A at Compton High is not the same as an A at Harvard Westlake. Well, you'll say it's not. And then I'm like, well, tell me why. Let's see their book. And if you notice about any schools, they use the same books. They just don't have the same demands, right? So then they get a different score and you get a different score. Simple for me is Jordan got rings. Barkley does not. Barkley does not get discounted, and Jordan doesn't get inflated because when they played, what did they do? And so I'm looking at Barkley like he's in the Hall of Fame. You're not a lesser Hall of Famer. Lesser Hall of Famer is me, who didn't make the Hall of Fame. I'm less than the Hall of Fame. I look at LeBron. LeBron, you ain't got as many accolades as Jordan and all that stuff. But LeBron has done as much as Jordan, just in a different way, a different version. So I don't let anybody talk me out of that. Like, I understand people want to say, well, he got 6, he got 4. I'm like, okay, that's simple math. But it's a team award. So why you keep mapping that onto that one dude?
You just made a statement where you said you don't think there's a lesser Hall of Famer. But I will say, I heard Deion Sanders and Shannon Sharp both say that there are lesser Hall of Famers. And he was like, we need to redo the Hall of Fame because these guys ain't all on our level. So there's Hall of Famers saying that that's not the case. And then Barkley, who is a Hall of Famer, is saying about himself, I'm not on their level. So there is levels to the Hall of Fame.
No, don't get me twisted. I know they do that. But I'm with LeBron. Y'all doing some dumb shit. I'm saying y'all on the bullshit. Like, people always do that. I'm saying it. And you're a part of the culture. Freshman year, you said stuff different than senior year. The culture is saying there's levels in the Hall of Fame. See how they do it? This is how dumb this shit gets. It gets to a point where they tell Hall of Famers, yeah, you all right. You okay, you good. And they keep going, and you talking about moving the goalposts. Now you a Hall of Famer, but you in the back. You not first ballot, second ballot, third ballot. What? Am I great or not? And they don't even want to do that because they want to keep us conversing and divided on it. So I don't look at it like that because
I'm just repeating what they said.
Oh,
that's not me. That's what they said.
I know what they said.
The actual Hall of Fame.
But that doesn't mean it's right. It means they're following a culture. Look, there's a lot of things in our culture that we say and do that ain't right. First of all, one of them is, and this is for black men, they don't compliment families enough. I see this a lot. I went up to this bro yesterday at Dave & Buster's, and I said, amazing. I said, yo, you guys look amazing, family. And he looked at me, he was like, man, I don't hear that much. And I was like, damn. And I was like, you know why? Because a lot of people don't say that. I swear, when I'm around the white people, that first thing, oh, look at these little kids. And I'm like, damn, I wonder that. And I can keep going. Y'all know the list. And that's cultural. We do it, or we don't do it. It ain't right. And I think that's the same. The Hall of Fame culture is, oh, we doing some shit that ain't right.
You know, when you see that, here's a good example of where there's a difference in how Hall of Famers look at each other. And it could be the unicorn because it's Jordan. But y'all saw the ceremony when they did the top 75 at the All-Star game. And all them guys was there. His peers, the guys younger than him, and the guys older than him. Mm-hmm. And when Jordan walked in there, it was different. Oh yeah. And even them, they talk about it. They're like, when Jordan showed up, it was not the same. Like, some of them were in like awe. Like,
but then there's also
they've been around him.
But
before.
That doesn't mean anything to me because in this world, people are starstruck. I'm not starstruck. So then, if I go somewhere and someone's like starstruck because Jordan's there, you screaming, Marcellus, don't you know him? Can't you meet him? I'm like, one, calm the fuck down. And look, and since they're starstruck, I don't say that they're doing something bad. It's just not the right thing. That dude is a dude.
Right. I think some of them were starstruck, probably more of the younger guys. But there's guys who were there before him, guys who played with him, who've been around him a million times and still got that same energy. I don't think that's a starstruck thing. I think that's just the utmost respect. Like, okay, he is just different. We not him. And they say that. They be like, he was just on another level from us. So,
no, I mean, look, since they say it, don't mean
you do that with everything.
I don't do that with everything. I just do it with this
brought
conversation.
Up something Max Kellerman said and put validity to that. This Hall of Famers who are here saying like, yo, this guy is different. We can't just brush off what they saying.
Those are the two different things. But I give you this. You live by what others say. You do you do an aggregate thing. You do a lot of aggregation. No, I do a lot of individualization.
Spin doctor right here. I don't live off what other people say. I live off of facts. But in this conversation, when we're talking about opinions, then that comes into play because these are these guys' opinions. Right. This is the guys who are his peers.
And yes, and the Hall of Fame was never constructed so it could be divisive. But you'll run with it and say that's the way it is. They're lesser, he's more. We get it. We got jokes for Yao Ming. What you doing in there next to Jordan? I get it. But at the same time, you're not going to ask me to subscribe to that. I would never do that. That's like saying you went to Harvard and graduated, but you're not as smart. What'd you major in? I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about, dog? I graduated. I went to Harvard. Like, I look at it like that. And I know it may be me by myself, but that's pretty loud because I don't see the other way as being accurate. I don't see you diminishing somebody who's a Hall of Famer just because you got some other criteria you done made up. Or some other criteria to separate the two. And that's what they doing with rings. How many you got? One. First, be a champion. You got one. That ain't enough. Get two. That ain't enough. Get four. That ain't enough. You got 6. That's enough. Oh, he got 11. That's too many. and I don't follow anybody who, once you don't make sense to me, you don't make sense to me.
And then they break it down as to how you want them, too.
Yeah. They'll keep going.
No game 7s, no game 6s, no whatever.
Yeah. You never would. Dog, it's the dumbest shit alive, and people who do it.
LeBron started that.
No. I don't care who started it. It's dumb. And I'm like, I'm not going that way. And I will be by myself saying, look, it doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Real quick, shifting gears slightly, but still in the same thing. We were talking about T-Mac and Kobe earlier, and I wanted to bring this up then, but we went off somewhere else. And you just said Yao Ming. I saw something yesterday, and it was, I guess, in response to T-Mac's comments. And
I saw that.
Where T-Mac obviously said, if I had Shaq, I would have won. And then they put T-Mac's a picture of the Houston Rockets, and it was T-Mac, Yao Ming, all of them. And he was like, take T-Mac off and put Kobe on this team, and they win the championship. What do you think?
They got a squad. It was Artest, it was Shane Battier, it was Kyle Lowry, Yao Ming.
They had a squad.
It was some other big dude they had too. They had a squad.
And I never thought about that until I saw that picture, and I'm like, I think they would have won. He won with Powell. He could have won with Yao.
Yao wasn't that good though.
In his prime, when he first came in, he was good. Even Shaq said it.
He just wasn't healthy.
Yeah, even Shaq said
that's part of
being a hard person to go
against.
I understand that.
See, so this is what it is. Yeah. This is what they do, and then next thing you know, you lose sight of the fact that he wasn't hurt. Oh, he was hurt. He was not that good.
But they were both healthy when they were in the playoffs, and he didn't.
Kobe lost the first round series up 3-1 before they said.
Right, but I'm saying if Kobe,
not they say he did.
Oh, you did, right?
That shit hurt.
Right. Like I'm like, when we start doing this, it's like, how far are we off the reservation, dog?
It was a question for you though. Like, what do y'all think? If you took Kobe and put them on that same Rockets team, you took T-Mac off, do they win a championship? Or do they go further than where T-Mac went?
That might have been like 07, 08, maybe.
So when Kobe was still,
he's still Kobe. Maybe 09.
I don't know. Phil Jackson literally said Kobe was uncoachable around 06, 07. Remember that?
He was still great, though.
I mean, yeah, but you can't just go anywhere and fit in because Jordan 80s was great. Won no championship in part because Phil said the same thing. Like, oh, you're going to have to give up.
I don't think Kobe started putting it together until like 07, 08.
Yeah,
and that's why 07, 08 until 2010, 11. That's the pocket for Kobe right there.
I don't know. I believe you took T-Mac off because T-Mac, I mean, Kobe had certain intangibles that T-Mac did not have.
Yeah, right.
Like, as great as T-Mac was, T-Mac was just a great scorer. He wasn't a great defender. He wasn't a great passer. I mean, I know Kobe wasn't either. But you really only think about T-Mac for scoring.
Yeah.
And Kobe was doing, like, everything.
And what's sad because, like, T-Mac came into the league, he was known as a good defender. When he was in Toronto, he was a good defender. So he could have put that together with his offensive game as it grew, and then he would be where Kobe is at.
And I'm glad you just said that, because T-Mac did exactly, like, you see how he was low-key throwing shade at, oh, you won 3 rings, why would you leave Shaq? Well, T-Mac did kind of the same thing, because Vince was getting all the shine, and T-Mac wanted to have his own show. So he left.
He was legit Pippen. He was a defensive stopper who can get his own bucket.
Had he stayed with Vince, they might have went further.
It might have been dope.
They might have went further, but he did the same thing. Like, wanted his own show, and he got it. He was elite, but
they tried to do the first super team with Grant Hill and Tim Duncan in Orlando.
Yeah, in Orlando,
it didn't work out.
But yeah, because Grant got hurt.
Yeah.
All right, I want to talk some rap now.
We done beat that to death.
Beat that to death. You okay?
I'm always good.
Hey, you used to work in the morgue. Can you bury this motherfucker? After I killed his ass.
No, he know the difference between life and death. So he knows what just happened.
Rings.
That's why he ain't come save you.
Damn, I thought you were so smart too, and then you start to
like,
how many rings you got?
He too big for a casket.
Man, shit, yeah. I hope I don't ever get in one. I don't want to die, y'all. I don't want to die.
I don't think anybody do.
No, I've heard people way more in tune with mortality and immortality than not. I don't. Some people are like, they're not wishing for it, but they like, I'm at peace. You ever heard somebody say, I'm at peace with death? I'm wrestling the shit out of it. It's war.
So you just want to live?
Yes.
Forever.
Every single what? And abandon this, whatever this is.
What about when you get to the point where you like slow down and
I'm
just
there
not
already. What you
functioning?
mean?
No, I mean like really slow down. When you get elderly, you can't
know how
really
fast I
move
used to be?
around and
My
this and
hip?
that. Cause I've heard my grandmother said that at a point when she was getting to the point where she was just like, she was going through it so much. She was just.
They say what they say. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's for some of them. It hurts them more.
Tired.
It's more draining for them to be alive. And she was just like, look, I'm ready.
And getting old, man, is no fun.
Yeah.
It's like my mother has a doctor's appointment 3 days a week, every week.
Yeah. If you're not mobile,
at least
you're losing weight. You're not really
Constant pain
eating.
and something.
Always hurting.
Shit ain't fun.
Yeah.
I disagree. Would you say the worst thing you hated was a quitter? Worst thing I would hate is to just tap out of life because I'm like, I don't want to live. Like, first, it starts with life.
That's quitting.
Then it's called living. Yeah, that's the ultimate quitting. Like, I don't want to live. Like, life, then living. And, like, if you give me this much of any of it, it's better than, to me, none of it. Not saying that I'm looking like on the next side, there's not something there. Heaven and beauty and reunited, reincarnated. I'm just saying, I don't need to go nowhere else. I get it. You're like, move on. Dog, to leave my family, to leave my friends, like, that shit, like, no, I'm not raising my hand. And I see some people like, I'm okay. Where you at with it, T?
You know, I just saw a great example of somebody who has done spent their whole life doing what they love to do and hasn't aged a bit. I went to a birthday party of my mentor this last weekend. He just turned 90. His name is Floyd Norman. He's the first black Hollywood animator, he's the first black animator in Hollywood. Hired by and worked with Walt Disney. Worked on Jungle Book and all those old early Disney pictures, and like he still moves like he's like 55, 60 years old. I caught a flat tire in front of his house. And like he ran outside, wanted to like help me. Like even I said, I got AAA, we good. But like I saw an example of someone who's loved what they do and has a fire for like wanting to get better and express and be the best person he can be. And I think that's taken a toll, or it's helped him with his aging process. He doesn't look like it. He doesn't. When you talk to him, he doesn't sound like he's 90 years old. When he doesn't move like he's 90 years old. Like he is full of life, and I think that's because he loves it. And
well, he also probably won the genetics lottery.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
that's
too.
part of it.
Part of loving it is how you're living it.
Right.
So if he was in a lot of pain, if he had fighting cancer and this and that and the other, that zest for it goes like this.
Right.
Quick.
Right. I respect that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's tough. Because when to talk to somebody one day and the next day they got diagnosed with, and then they fill in that blank, they did. Well, I got a boy who has been battling cancer, remission, not back, forth, like 8 years, man. He half of who he was, and he's still fighting, but he's just like, man, I'm tired, dog. But I'm still, I'm fighting. He got these little kids, he got his wife, and and like, dog, no, sir, I'm in here. If I could live to 2 billion years, I'd be a fucking dusty rock. I would be here with eyeballs looking at y'all like, what's up?
If he didn't have those 2 kids and a wife, you think he would still fight as hard?
No. I mean, I'm assuming I wouldn't.
Right.
If it's just on me, oh man, fuck this shit. Like if it's just me out here, I don't love nothing enough to be like, I'm about to die and be tortured for it. But I do it for others. Yeah. I would assume.
Right, I mean, I agree. But that's when you were saying, I want to be here forever. That's based on what you have. Like if you're a person that doesn't have that mindset of somebody wanting to check out is a little different.
Yeah, it is. That's why I tell everybody, man, get out them streets. You get the deepest meaning of love. I meet so many people, and when I talk to him,
Why you look at me?
He was talking to you, Richie.
Well, he got kids too.
Give me the side eye.
Yeah. He got kids. He got kids too. It ain't his sperm worms, but it's still his, right? That's stepdaddy.
That we know of.
Yeah. But he know him. Like I've had arguments before when someone, I'm like, dog. I said, you don't know the deepest meaning of love in life, and they're like, what? I said, you don't have kids, and it's like first they think they're always talking about marriage, and I was like, no. I said, kids. Like that's the ultimate life.
Unconditional love.
Yeah, because your wife and you know. It's a moment or two you're like, nah. What you say? But ain't no moments when Araya say something I'm like, oh God.
Right, she doesn't make you want to call your lawyer.
No. Never. And that's what's crazy. Like, call your lawyer. Oh God. How was that call? You called your lawyer. You did it.
No, we did ours together.
Oh, so you called each other. FaceTime.
We mapped it all out and just handed it to a lawyer.
Oh yeah, that's smooth. That's good.
And
okay.
Save that money.
We're not gonna fight over it. We're just gonna hand it over and get it executed.
So now she can hang out with Steph in peace.
In peace. That's right.
And he can have both Jesus sandals. That's right. Not just one. Not sandal. Oh man, yeah. Look,
That's
no,
good.
I'm not gonna say that. But I was
Yeah,
like, if I ever get divorced, which I ain't.
And then we have other friends who are following that same example now, actually, and they see once people see you can do it and not be at war, and you can be cool, and there's a certain way you can go about it. People are looking because you don't know how many people in their household are going through shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we have other friends who are splitting, and they're doing it the same way.
Y'all some quitters. Everybody going through shit. What do you think? What do you think? Marriage is happy? You think career is happy? Nothing is happy. It's just you got happy moments and you manage the bad ones. Like I don't know anything.
Good and bad, thick and thin.
Everything I've ever been in, NFL, whatever people be like, oh my God, your house, your car, man, nothing is straight through all to the good.
No shit, Sherlock.
So why you quit?
Well, because we had run out of the good. We weren't going to find the good together anymore.
How, Sway?
Really? It just happened over time. Yeah.
How long were y'all married, and how long were y'all together before you got married?
We were together almost. We were married almost 20. We were together about 23.
Okay.
Damn. There's a world where you can be with somebody and really run out of good with them, like the flame, like the pilot goes out.
Yeah. Call the repairman. Pilot out. Yeah. Absolutely.
Did it not work because she was calling the repairman? I'm just curious.
Wow, that's a good joke.
Damn jokes.
I'm just
Unnecessary roughness.
He over there doing that. Baby boy. He baby boy your wife. You want some eggs?
You want some eggs?
Man, that's the most disrespectful line ever. Hold on. you really, for real, it ran out. Like, literally is gone. Like, because I've never been in a relationship where it ran out. All my girlfriends, it didn't run out. I ran out. Like, well, there's something there. I can make it work if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
Make it work. But when you have to make it work,
you got to do
that's
that.
Part
that's
of
part
it.
Right, but you do that over and over and over and over, and then it's
keep working.
Chipping down. You know, you can keep jerry rigging something, but it's still gonna keep breaking on you. Right. So after a while, you don't have any more duct tape.
Damn. But love is infinite, and what do they say? Love knows no limit. Love keeps no record. Did you keep a record?
Who the hell is they? I mean,
God wrote that in the Bible. I'm sorry, but you know I'm biblical. God damn.
See?
Whoa, back up there.
He lives off of what people say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Some
Yeah,
people
God,
say.
Yeah, God got you. Oh, by far. No, seriously.
He don't believe in God.
You don't believe in that? You don't believe in God? Oh, you're an atheist. That's
No,
right.
I don't believe in God.
Yeah, he don't believe in God. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying.
But you see, love. All right, don't believe in God. You know, love doesn't keep a record. That's why with your kids.
I love my ex-wife. I'm not in love with my ex-wife.
Man, that sounds 8th grade.
She loves me, but you know,
There's a difference.
It's a different way.
Not when you get married.
You can fall out of love with somebody though.
Yeah,
you can love them
yeah,
and
you
not
can fall
be in
out
love.
of love and still love them and know that you committed to them and all of it, what you thought of it one day, it's still there. You just ain't looking at it no more.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm not trying to. Look,
people also change too.
Yeah,
so you
for the
might have
better.
fell in love with a person at this point, and 20 years later, now they're nothing like what they were then.
Oh.
So maybe it's like,
Oh, you talking about my marriage? Okay, yeah, no. My wife is skinny now. I'm like, girl, you used to be thick. What happened to your ass?
hey,
And then all these
it's
wives
better that
get
way
fat.
than the other way.
No, it ain't. That's what she
What
thinks.
if you got her skinny and then she blew up like this?
I know what burrito blowout, whatever you want to call it, bathroom build up.
Well, you might wanna
get
catch it.
bigger, girl.
I
I'm
mean-
like, look, my baby mama. Like a lot of people went that way, and I was like, oh, I don't want that until I saw her go skinny. And I was like, baby, go back, get fat. Like
Want that
women hate
BBW.
getting fat. But I'm like, I'd rather you get fat
especially
than
women out here.
I know. My wife, she looks amazing to all these ladies and wives. I'm like, them sticks. Like, she's skinny now.
Yeah, it's different out here.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, they like that homegrown thickness.
They got them triceps that's hanging, making greens all day.
That's the
Auntie
wings.
arms.
That's the wings right there.
Right.
You know,
That's when you know it's
cook
gonna
a
be
mean
seasoned.
chicken. Yeah, that thing gonna have
That chicken
flavor.
about to be fire.
That potato salad
That
is
chicken,
killing
wings-
me.
them greens,
The wings ain't
boy,
flapping. I don't want
in the
it.
Kool-Aid.
And it's always something in the fridge.
Yep.
So you can get divorced. It sounds like there's a sliver.
No, I'm one of those. I don't believe in divorce. I feel like we in it forever.
We in it.
For me to have to get divorced, she would have to. It had to been something
How long you been married?
crazy. 2017, so 8 years. Yeah, it'll be 8 years this year.
What will make you divorce her, other than the obvious of like, you
Man.
walking in and seeing Dexter, somebody diggling.
She'd have, I don't know. She would have had to do something really like crazy to my kids, which I know she wouldn't do. Or it'd have had to been something to like my parents. Like she'd have to do like it's something so crazy I can't even think of what it could be. Because if I thought she was capable of doing something like that, we wouldn't even be here.
Ah, that's a great point.
So
people exceed your your perceptions of
That's
their
true.
capability.
But that's what I said
Yeah.
to his point, where
Yeah.
I was like, you know, you might have met somebody and fell in love with them because they were like this. 20 years later, maybe they're a whole different person that you, had they been like that then, you wouldn't have fell in love with them.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because we don't control it. But I just feel like the accountability in me, like, you ever been in a relationship and it ended and you could tell the story and it could make you look pretty good. It make you sound like, damn, she did trip. Damn, she did that. But then don't you have that inner conversation like, man, you know how many times that girl wanted me to just go in the backyard and lay down, have a picnic? I said no. I was on my phone. She talking to me. She's like, baby, what do you want to watch? I don't care. Like, it's a little more fitty in them the breakups than
that's
people.
why
There's
I
three
asked
sides to
him.
every story.
3 sides every story.
Your side,
That's
my
what-
side, and the
And
truth.
the truth.
And
That's why
nobody's
I
lying.
asked.
And
At some point,
nobody's lying.
And
And
nobody's
that's
lying.
why when
You
I
know the
tell
breaking
story,
point.
it's neutral. You know what I mean? She didn't. I'm not saying it was anything bad on her. I'm not saying it was anything bad on me. Everybody plays a part, right? So I try to tell a story from a neutral perspective and not trying to place any blame because everybody has a part in it. So when it breaks down, it's not just one person, unless that person is going out in a bad way, you know, doing something and they just get popped and, you know, everything blows up. But if you're not blowing it up, it's just an erosion over time. And people do evolve, and that doesn't mean that you have to love what they're evolving into, but they still have that space to evolve into whatever they want to become.
And age plays into that too, because we were talking about that yesterday. We were talking about that yesterday. We was like, don't get married before 30. I don't think you should. So imagine somebody gets married at 22. At 22, you still a kid. Like you're an adult, but your mind is not there yet. So you married with them. You married to them for 20 years. Well, at a 42-year-old and a 22-year-old, two completely different worlds.
I'm with you there.
So they might have been a completely different person at 42 than they were at 22 when you met them.
But mine is not because of your immaturity or not, because if you marry somebody in your world, y'all both immature, y'all mature together. Mine is you ain't messed around enough. Like if typically, like most people are not, you know, they don't abstain, they actually getting it in. I hate the curiosity. Remember we were talking about, I was like, everybody I know that is young that get married, they're too curious in their 30s and 40s, they can't stay still. And I'm like, then they be imagining that the streets is fresher than they are. Every one of them, I'll be like, dog, they be like, let's go hang out. I'll be like, dog, I'm not going anywhere. Why? Because we're going to go there, we're going to drink, we're going to listen to music, a couple girls going to flirt, we're going to look back, and then next thing you know, we're going to go home. I said, I could do that right now in my head and stay in here. And he like, nah, dog, let's go get it. And I was like, for what? Get what? There's nothing for me to get. There's nothing fresh out there. And then every girl that you always see when you go out that's super fine, I guarantee you, I know 3 dudes she dating or 3 dudes that's hollering at her if she's single. Because we all know it's like
for the streets.
Man, everybody, if you go like this, dang. Every dude that has walked that street that she been around and said, dang. And some of them dudes got it. And got money, got life, I can't do it. I'm like, at this age, the streets.
Especially out here. Like if you live in the middle of nowhere, it might be a little different, you know. But here, they seeing the top of the top.
They seeing the top
every
of the top.
night.
They ain't lying.
And then they tell you because you know, I ain't in the game. So I'm like, I'm like, you dating who? He offered what? You just went where? Wow. I was like, and that's just one. And then the phone ring, and then I go like, he go, and she's like, I don't know which one. I'm like, neither one of them gonna settle down with you, so you might as well enjoy it. But then that's just ages her clock, and then she ends up missing the boat, waiting on a yacht, and then that doesn't happen. And I'm like, it's just some fuckery out here.
Got multiple people sending them money per month, playing on different teams.
Why I gotta be a team? It's them CEOs.
Because you know what it is.
Them CEOs.
You talking about
worse.
in the club though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You talking about in the clubs? That's who's in there.
True.
It's the artists and the athletes.
Artists and athletes with their boys saying, "Hey,
That's a dangerous game."
CEOs get you at the bar.
Yeah,
at the hotel or at the restaurant. Like they getting you other places.
You still don't got a chance. These girls are getting sniped. Instagram.
I just think it's a dangerous game for the girls, like staying in the game as long as they've been staying. Because I'm at the age now where I'm seeing my girlfriends who are peers who are wishing they had kids, or wishing they had done this and that, and they can't. You know what I mean? Because they've gotten to the point where it's not even healthy to do that.
Yeah, they
frozen. What he said.
Yeah, so
they
it's
had
like,
the chance.
Yeah, so
they
it's
missed
like
the boat waiting for the yacht.
Every girl that I know that now, like remember yesterday I walked in, I walked right out. Justin was like, "You okay?" I was like, I know that whole crew. I am not speaking because I'm not putting anything on record. I already know. Like, I just knew them. I was like, I know the conversation now. They always devolve into the same stuff. We're all a good man at Marcellus. When you gonna hook me up? I was like, never. Right. Like, because when you could have been hooked up, you was running the streets. And when I mean that, I mean like they played dudes. They were fiddling dudes like this. And I was like, we have our heart out first when we young, like teenage and young with money. And them girls be having their mind out first. And I was like, oh, y'all want to play that game? Then we flip it. And it's a wrap, because it ain't flipping back.
Because our expiration date is a lot longer.
Yeah,
it's forever.
Guys go like this.
Yeah.
And most women go like that.
Yeah, biologically, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just yucky. It's just yucky. But then again, being married, when your wife don't make lunch like this morning, my wife, 3 kids, baby, you didn't make the lunch.
This really bothering him because he keep bringing. Sorry, voice. You boys, get it all out, man. We here for you.
I'll shoot you the fax number for that paperwork.
Oh yeah. No. Send me a link. I want it quicker. No, I'll be cracking up. I'll be laughing like, damn, this is my mom and dad. Like, you know, you grow up, you don't even look at your parents like they're in a relationship. They just your parents. You forget that they just had a fight, or they just had sex, or they just kicked it, or they just went out, or they tied. You forget all that. You just be like, mama, daddy, and I'll be like, man, that's just a beast.
Yep.
Hey,
especially with young parents.
I'm gonna give you a little game that come from your own words.
Oh, let me hear.
So a few minutes ago, when you were saying, you brought up the point like, yeah, she's been asking me to do this for all these years. We talking about the 50-50 point, where it's not all her. Because she's been asking to do these things, and I was just like on my phone. And
yeah.
So maybe now you're not getting certain meals cooked because maybe this thing she's saying to you, and you kind of stuck in your way, and you do those things. Maybe that adds a new fire, that brings a new life.
You know
to
what? It is, because I told her about 5-6 years ago, stop cooking because I ain't eating this shit because it's nasty.
Damn, Sil.
There you go.
Hope you didn't say it like that.
I wasn't thinking that.
I'm paraphrasing.
I was
this
thinking
shit.
she likes to always go on trips and you don't like to
I'm
travel.
not. She could divorce me. I'm not traveling in this world. Leaving
But if
my
you
kids.
told her that, then now we know
I've
why
told
she
her
ain't
that.
doing it.
Hey, look, how many times you gonna run into that wall? You know that your husband has traveled the world and ain't doing it again.
I'm at the cooking part, but yeah, I got you.
No, the cooking part. She loved like meatloaf and like roast. And I call that shit punishment food. Like growing up for me, we ate hamburgers and tacos.
That's why you did that
and hot
yesterday.
dogs.
That's why you did that yesterday.
What do you
I
mean?
was eating some. A slice of. I couldn't say what it was because it would have sounded crazy. But I was eating
You were eating some meat.
What the hell's going on?
It was sliced, right? So he come walking over to me. Oh, you over eating that meatloaf? I'm like, no, this ain't even meatloaf. Right. But it's because he was triggered.
That's that PTSD.
I was like, oh, you did something wrong.
He eating that
What's
meatloaf?
wrong with you? It ain't
I'm
no
like-
tacos,
I'm
hamburgers,
like,
hot dogs.
this is nicely sliced.
It was.
And-
It was an adult meal.
So
Right.
what this is telling me is your parents fooled you into thinking you were supposed to be eating tacos and hot dogs all the time.
Yeah, because we were broke. And
Right.
they did that. Oh, you already know.
No, you don't want that roast.
Yeah.
You don't want
No, we don't want
you
nothing
want
fancy.
that.
No steak.
Eating
we
that
love
spam.
you. We love you too much
Using
for
that
that,
spam.
son.
Yep.
That corn-
And then that same meat for tacos on Monday is spaghetti Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
carries
Got
over.
something left over. Now you got a taco salad, which is just ketchup and meat.
Was they giving you corned beef hash? You remember that?
Yeah, I
My
remember
grandmother
that.
used to come in a can, and she used to be
The
like,
good corned beef hash still comes in a can.
It's actually
When
good,
they make
but
it,
it was cheap.
When restaurants
It's like-
make it, it's never
Just straight
good.
from a can.
It was like,
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
think
it's
it used
just
to be
not
like
the same.
50 cents a can or something. Like it
Yep.
was like dirt cheap. And she was just all the time making that corned beef hash.
Yeah.
Man.
No, that's interesting. I mean, I feel you on the game stuff. No, I'm too honest with my wife. I will say that, and that sounds weird to say you too honest, but I tell her everything I think. But then it's funny. That's what she loves me the most for, because she's like, you never fluff. It's like I never can fool you like a fluff. I never fluff.
you know what a fluffer is?
I don't. I miss one.
You a fluffer.
If you're a fluffer.
What's a fluffer?
So a fluffer is on like porn sets. Is the girl that sits on the side to get the guys ready.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
Nah.
Oh.
Because he was the fluffer.
Somebody roll is the roll.
That's the fluffer motion. Right there. That's what fluffers do.
Hey, look at this. Watch this. This is a threesome.
Every week, this guy's a freak. He got.
No, that's funny. That was a good joke. No, sorry.
That's what
really?
That's what happens when the kids are in the bed all the time.
Oh man,
yeah.
seriously. You already know. Hold on. That's what they roll is? They do that, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what a fluffer is.
It ain't just the girl. Oh, they probably already.
Yeah,
They done seen too many girls to even be like fired up, so they need somebody to help them.
And it's like, I mean, it's a crew of seven
Yeah,
people.
Good point.
And
Good point.
and-
Like, yeah. So you like,
And then it's a production. So a lot of times they stop, they start, they stop, they start. So they have the girl who's in the scene,
Yep.
and then they'll have another girl on the side. Sometimes it could be the same person.
It's typically somebody else.
But yeah, it's somebody they bring in just for that, who's just there to get the guy ready for the scene.
So we holding up production. We the issue.
I know what you doing, man.
We the problem.
You got to work on the budget. Let's go.
That's right. All right. We need more fluffers.
or a fluffer.
Hey, start with one, right?
Oh boy, I never thought about that. Damn, they used to film those by my house in Chatsworth.
A lot of
Oh
them.
Yeah,
Chatsworth
boy.
was the capital.
All
yeah.
through the valley, they
yeah.
they used to rent houses
Yeah.
all around here.
I was like, they ain't streaming in there. Oh yes, they are. It was wild. Ooh, I didn't know. I had a friend that was a porn star. She was in this is wild. I grew up with her, and she was my neighbor. Super pretty, older than me a little bit, barely out of her league.
You gotta say the name.
Huh?
You gotta say the name.
I can't.
She do it for a living.
I don't want to blow.
She's a porn star.
I don't know. She might have turned a new leaf.
Well,
But her
don't-
footage is still out
you
there.
don't have to give her government name. Give her
What's her
stage
what's her
name.
yeah.
Special K. Special K.
Oh, she was real creative too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know her stage name. Strippers got. Okay. Now I know her. I don't know her like that. I grew up with her, and then she's in. Next thing I know, she's in Snoop's. Remember Snoop had that porno? She's in that, and then next thing I know, I see her at the store, and I was like, Special K. That's what I call her. Special K. Like the hello, hey, I ain't seen you in a while. I used to have the biggest crush on her. She's super fine and barely older than me, but I didn't qualify because I had no money, and I, her neighbor. So friend zone the whole childhood. I see her then. She know I'm in the league now, and she's Special K.
Now you qualify.
Overqualified. 800 credit score, 850. Like so I was like, and then the hello was just like this. I couldn't even hide. I was like, what the fuck is what happened? Like I could have married you, booed you out.
You ain't had to do this.
I got a question. Was she called Special K then?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making that name up so y'all know who she is.
Man, I wanted to hear what her
like,
actual stage name is.
That was on the wall.
All we gotta do is look up Snoop's porno.
Oh, yeah.
But there was so many of them in there.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Super fun.
There's some heat in that.
We used to hug, and like the best she would do for me is she's like, give me a hug. And she used to give me a hug by the laundromat. Oh, it'd be the best hug in the world. I used to be like, I love you. I love you. She's like, get your little dusty broke ass. So then I would just run the driveway and do my push-ups and lift weights. And she'd be like, you getting
Hoping
bigger.
she see you.
She saw me. She's like, you getting bigger. And then when we finally,
No pun intended.
no fluffer in there. So then I finally got there, and we literally had like a real moment of like, how the shit had turned. Because she wasn't really proud that she.
Did you let her kiss you on the mouth?
He would have.
No, I mean at the store.
I would have tongue kissed her.
Right after the scene too. Like Diddy. Right after the scene, rub it all in.
He's on escape from work.
I just got off work.
I was
Give me a
single.
kiss.
Nah, we actually did. We did hang out. She went back to that apartment and we made music. Like, no, I used to DJ.
I thought you was banging.
Talk to y'all.
Oh, you wasn't banging on the keys and nothing like that?
He was scratching something.
He was scratching.
I don't know.
But you say you had that moment where y'all both looking like, damn, how the hell did we?
How did we?
What the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
and we
tough.
talked through it too. It
That's
was like
tough.
at first it was just like, I don't even know where to start because I know where it ends. And then she didn't know where to start because she knew where it ended. And she knew she didn't put a bet on me. Look, it wasn't that deep, but I used to like her, and she knew it. And she could have had me and been a like childhood sweetheart. She was like, I'm gonna chase these dudes with 5.0s and El Caminos and get caught up in the streets. And I was like grinding in a little dust bowl, and then I'm like, damn, that's what happened to you. Like all them dudes that I saw coming by here, this is how it ends up. So we talked through that, and she was just like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, damn, I'm over there crying. I'm like, dang. And I was like, I can't say it back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of you. You took one for the team.
Damn.
Every scene.
There's a bunch of porn stars from LA though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them chicks from out here.
Because it's the modeling industry and the video vixen industry going back.
Yeah.
It's some vixens
And
out
it's so
there.
accessible here.
Yeah.
Because this is like the capital of it.
Yeah. Because I know they real numbers. I mean, I'm sure we all do, but I know the economics, even the top dogs, because one of my exes was one, and she had a big name. And I know how much they all were making. They were struggling, dog. They were struggling for real. They were just famous. And so they had to, behind the scenes, had to manipulate all them rappers, all them entertainers that they were working with
It was
to try.
escorts. You got to call it what it is. They was escorts on the side. A bunch of them.
Is an escort? What's an escort? Do you want to go on a date with them?
Call girl.
Yeah, calling
Paying
them
for
in.
it.
Yeah, calling them in.
Working girl.
They weren't standing on the corner.
Got you. I always call that like they would date them and they get gifts. What do you call
They
that?
weren't dating them. They was paying to smash.
No.
They
They were trying to get wifed up.
No, yeah, that's what they were trying to do. I'm saying the guys is calling them, throwing them some money just to smash.
Well, I think if you want to be if you're saying somebody's an escort, that's something that they willingly go into. Like you can't be unwillingly an escort.
True.
Be just a jump off.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's a bunch of them like that. Now I don't know the one you're specifically.
No,
talking about.
all of them that I'm talking about, this whole group, and all of them got names and faces. They would date. Imagine 3 rappers. They in 3 videos. They dating a dude to them, which means you fly out here, I fly out there, we meet somewhere, we booing up, but I can't let you know I'm trying to holler at him, and I can't think that you gonna only holler at me. Like they all running the same game. I thought they were really like dating, but the point is they ain't cash in on it because nobody will wife them up because once again, look at you. And then the next shoot you in, you knew what you did. You got her number. You got it. Y'all dating. You got it in. She and somebody else shoot. What you think? Like he ain't spitting?
We just come. It seems like we're just coming out of an era where cats were wifing up the porn chicks. I mean, it didn't a girl who has a baby with Kardashian.
Black China.
Oh yeah. Ooh, she rich.
Think about that. Think about
she got
the
some money.
Corinne Steffens lady, the superhead. She was dating Eddie Winslow for a long time from Family Matters and had dated a whole bunch of other stars. Cats that's what they were choosing.
She was special.
K.
She was special. She had a
jawbone.
Yeah, she had a skill set that could make any man wife.
She had a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
Right. It was a little different.
That is funny when you see the girl that everybody say don't date because A, B, and C, and then somebody do it because he be like, "Did you see what?"
Right.
Having the time of his life.
Yeah, like I don't care who it is. Like everybody be like, "Hey, don't
Happy.
Dre."
Very happy.
Yeah, hate on Drea, and then you see Drea, and then you be like, "Oof." There's a moment where you're like,
I get it.
I get it.
"I hear you." That's right.
Like,
all
like
of
Chris
them.
Rock would say, "But I understand."
But
I thought that about
That's
you know
the same thing
Erica
with
Mena.
Corinne.
Yes.
I thought that about her. Every time I saw her on like camera and shows, I'd be like, all these dudes dating her.
Who?
Erica Mena.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was dating everybody,
Yeah.
and I was just like, why is everybody? dating her?
Everybody
And then I
loves her.
bumped into her out here one time. It's probably like 10 years ago, and I was with my boy, and we looked at it like literally. She got out of a car, and we looked at each other at the same time.
Oh boy.
And it was like.
You understand?
I didn't realize it was her, and then like she got out, we were behind her, so I saw everything from the back first. Then she turned around, I saw the face, and I was like, "Oh, she's a problem." She's bad. And then it hit me who it actually was, and I was like, "Oh,
I get it.
I get it."
You get it.
Literally in that moment, I was like, "I get it now."
Yeah.
Because seeing her in person was very different than like seeing her on like online and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's like sports, like dog. That's why I always believe like the best player on the team. You know, we always have that Steph KD conversation and stuff. But I'm like, dog, you can say what you want, you can do whatever you want. When we get together, there's something primal about this relationship. Like you could all this, don't do it, and then you look and you're like, man, and like game recognize game, ball recognize ball. It's insane. What you think about this rapper stuff? This there's been some top. Somebody had a top 5 list going on. I saw Joe and Jada talking about top 5 rappers ever, and I thought of you, and I was like, I want to know his list, and I got to hear it. Now, do you have a list? Or are you about to make one up?
No, I mean I have
Because I don't have one.
I have a top 5, but my top 5 is not necessarily who's the best rappers it's the people who I like the most.
Okay. So you're saying your favorite rappers?
Right. So if it's my favorite rappers, that's a different list from the people who I think are top five in talent.
So who you got as your favorite?
Jay. I got Jay-Z.
Jadakiss?
No, Jay-Z, Biggie. The three normal ones, Tupac. And then it's where it gets tricky. I got 50 in there. And then I have Cameron.
These are your favorites.
My favorites.
Okay.
And then the close six is Jeezy. Jeezy's like Jeezy and Cameron are interchangeable.
Hey, Jeezy had a moment.
I was outside when Jeezy was that 04 when Jeezy was in LA.
Jeezy would be a hell of a catalog to take on the island.
I think he got one of the greatest albums of all time.
Oh yeah.
That first one was crazy.
Yeah. I remember being in Atlanta and going into clubs and they would just play it straight
The
through.
whole, I know,
like they literally would play it from the intro
play the
and
whole
just
thing.
let it run.
Yep.
I was like, dang,
It was
this is
fire.
different.
It was
Yeah,
fire.
that was an era. That was a moment.
Didn't Jeezy just get divorced?
Yep.
Sure did.
Yeah.
And everybody was questioning why he got married in the first place. Because it's like young
It
Jeezy
seemed so
to her?
random. Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel random, but
It never seemed like a good fit.
yeah, she gave him game and he loved her. Yeah.
But they had that special K.
You know what? I know you're talking about rap, but you gotta watch a chick who's like her whole career. She kept saying she didn't want to have kids. She didn't want to do all this, and then as soon as she got with him, she went and had kids. Had a kid. To me, that'd have been the biggest red flag. That all of a sudden this was went. She had a lot of things that were out there already that were questionable.
What if he talked her into it?
I was about to say, that's what happened with my boy who just got divorced, but he was married for
that could be the
25
case.
years. They did 25 and they got divorced, and he said she swore she didn't want kids because she wanted to travel the world and go to all the nice restaurants and all that stuff. And then he was like, I got to have kids. She was like, all right. And she did it. He talked her into it, basically, I'm saying.
I mean, that could happen.
And then you can't talk her out of it because sooner or later the world still need to be traveled. So
He already had kids though, so I think
Jeezy?
Yeah. So I mean, but he still could have talked her into it. I don't know. None of us know. But I just always thought that was strange that she wasn't like she was so against it. And then I don't even know if they were married for a year and they had one.
Oh, really? Shoot the club up.
have you dated since you've been dating, huh?
Yeah.
Is that a real question?
I ain't seen nobody.
No.
Yes, you
We
did.
won't? Where?
Didn't you just have a picture in the group chat?
Was that a girl you dated?
Y'all dry snitching? Like, what?
I don't think it was that. I don't think it was like a. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was hiding it. I didn't think he was hiding it. My bad. You single,
You
so I think.
single?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
If you was in something, I wouldn't have said that.
We got to read the bottom of that facts. The bottom of that facts might be like, facts. Don't your ass ever. I'll leave that alone.
He talking about he outside, so I thought it was all right. My bad.
You like outside
We'll
right
back
now?
up off you.
Yeah, I'm loving outside.
Okay.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I was inside for a
I was
really
just
long
about to say,
time.
is it because of some fresh air?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is what's going on out here.
It's a different world now,
It's
right?
a different world.
So are you having more fun like being outside literally, or are you on the dating apps and like figuring that part
I'm only on one dating app.
Okay.
Hinge.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the only one I've ever been on.
Okay.
So, but I like the freedom of being single right now.
Okay.
I like the possibilities. You know what I mean? You can.
It's possibilities, Smokey.
I mean, you know.
You remember that?
Is that her? Was I right? I responded to that.
Oh yeah, put that away.
Boy, that's all on the side. It's off camera. It's off camera.
You know her?
Oh,
And did
boy.
I guess it right?
What?
I guessed her name.
No,
That's
you
not her?
didn't. No.
Oh, I thought that conversation
They
was
used to
going
call her
somewhere else.
Jawbone. No, let me
Maybe,
about to go
but
with
no, you did not guess that right.
Wow, she must be a lady. Look at her. She turned her head away, but still gave you.
Face.
Man, she looked like Sade.
So now we know that was MJ that responded.
Right.
It wasn't him. That was, you said sometimes MJ be getting the messages.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Now we know it was MJ that was.
He go right back. Minecraft.
M-Y-N.
Yeah, mine. Hell yeah. Wow, you are, woo. See? Oh boy.
But I'm single. I'm outside.
Good.
Good.
Until further notice. And when I'm not, you'll know it.
Oh, you gonna get married again? You gonna get booed up again?
No, I'm not. No, I have no plans on
So
that.
why would you get in a relationship? Why would you limit your outside-didness?
I'm not saying I would.
Yes, you are. You sound just like my boy.
I'm not.
Soon as they start saying, "Oh, well, I'll let you know," that means they're gonna get booed up again.
No, I said I would let
never.
you know.
If you get divorced, you should be banned from getting booed up again. Because if you want to get married, do it.
Damn. That's so judgmental. That is the most judgmental thing ever.
What are you doing?
He got a drawer full of engagement rings, and now he want to set the standard. He want to set the standard.
It's called wisdom.
Well, you don't even get a fight in this.
You can't listen to him.
Why I don't?
He's a Phil Jackson of engagement.
He thinks from his mindset only. That's it.
No, I think I'm more qualified than you. Because
You
I went from engagements to marriage.
You went from fire drill to fire drill.
Whole lot of pump faking.
Right, and you leave. Y'all done? You leave a commitment of being married and gonna try and baby marriage it, have pregnant somebody. Like, why would you get booed
Damn,
up?
where we go?
Y'all get it? Like being in a
What?
Yeah, you gonna be half pregnant. If you get into a relationship, you saying I'm committed. Why are you committing to something if you single?
Who said I was getting
You
into
just
a
said,
relationship?
"I'll let you know."
I said I would let you know.
Yeah.
If that changed.
That's my point.
I would
It
let
should
you
never
know.
change unless you're going to get married again. Why would you get divorced and then be in a relationship?
Maybe you like somebody's company, but you don't want to be that official and
That is
formal,
official.
and that formal with it.
What? That is official.
You maybe don't want to.
That's backwards.
Maybe you
Triple
don't want to
OG,
have.
Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Well, first off,
He ready.
if he got divorced,
Give him mic.
He already
Grab the mic.
divorced.
Grab the mic.
You could take the if off.
Terry like,
He
I don't want
already
no part of
divorced.
this.
First off, he got divorced, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, his relationship didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
You only have one life to live, right?
Yeah.
If he decides he needed to find someone else that didn't work, then that's on him. That's okay. He can live his life. He can find someone else. He can connect with someone else. He doesn't have to marry them. But if he does decide, he has that option. That's why you have one life. You can do whatever you want with your one life.
I get it. So you're saying you're going to get into another relationship but not marry her, but treat it like a marriage.
I'm not saying any of this.
No, if things change. If things
He
change.
said all of that. He's like, oh, so this is what you're saying. He's like, I didn't say nothing.
That's exactly what I'm not saying. I'm not saying any
But
of
what are
it.
you
What the fuck
saying?
just
I'm
happened?
not saying shit.
No, you said, I will let you know if this changes.
I said if I did get into a relationship, I would let you know.
That's
I'd let
my point.
I'd
Why
let my
would you
boys-
get into
I'm with
another
y'all
relationship?
A whole lot every single week. Of course, I would want you to know what was happening in my life.
But no, I know that. Y'all losing me in logistics. Why would you get divorced to get into another relationship? Don't you want full freedom?
No,
That's why I'm asking.
I'm not getting back into a relationship with my ex-wife.
Right.
I know
They're
that.
different people. So relationships are different each time they go around, right?
No.
Yes.
No, they
Yes.
don't. Because look, this
guy's
is
crazy.
all around the world, same song. Everywhere we talked about this earlier. This one, the menu, carne asada. This one, pollo. You still gonna be in this situation. I thought you got out of a commitment so you could have freedom. Now you're gonna get into another pseudo commitment that's not marriage. Why would you do that?
Well,
if I get divorced and I'm not,
He didn't
I
get out
would
for freedom.
never,
He got
ever
out 'cause
be
it wasn't
booed up
working.
again.
Yeah, I didn't get out because I said I want freedom. We got out because the relationship wasn't working.
So, but no. I just asked you, would you get married again? You said no.
Probably not. Probably not.
You
No.
now went from no to probably not. You're making my point. What are you gonna if you're not going to get married?
The point he's trying to
I'm
make
glad
is
this is
there is
happening
no
because when
point
he
to
do
be
this to
made.
me,
It's not a
y'all
point.
be sitting and not saying
You
that.
just
You
change
just
your
said the
you
point.
just change your thing.
Okay,
you're
so
divorced.
let's stick to me saying
back and
no.
watch
I'm not
this.
going to get married again. Let's say that.
You catch this? Stick to it. Which one is it? Are you or not?
I'm trying to help you make a tangible argument here because right now you're just saying shit.
No.
This is just word salad
I'm
right
gonna start cutting you. You just changed your whole opinion in 2 minutes about what you're gonna do. I asked you. This only started because you were divorced, and you said, I'm not getting married again. I'm like, oh, okay, he for the streets. And maybe he'll date. Maybe he'll hang. You said then, well, I'll let you know if that changes. And I'm like, changes? You gonna get married again? You're like, no, or probably not. Which one?
So are you not allowed to?
You're allowed to do whatever you don't do that.
When
that.
New information is given, aren't you allowed to change?
Yes.
Okay, so before I ever got married, I was a confirmed bachelor. Like my mom would tell girls, I hope you're not waiting on him, because he ain't ever getting married.
He for the streets.
And then I met my wife.
Okay.
And she changed my mind on it.
Okay.
So
like the dude, like Young Jeezy got his mind, changed his girl's mind.
Right.
I get it.
Right. So I'm not saying that could never happen again.
Well, then don't
it's
say
just
it.
not probable.
Well,
it's not
say
because
that.
I used to say before I was never gonna get
All this
married.
happened because you just, once again, like Just Blaze, can be direct with your words.
Semantics.
I asked you, no, that's not semantics. I asked him, was he get married again? He said no. That's where it all started. Then, halfway through it, well, probably not. I'll let you know if it changes. Is it a no or is it not a no?
I just want you to know this. While you've been doing this, everybody here is like, we don't agree with you. Nobody's agreeing.
But no, because you guys are talking about the point.
Nah.
I'm saying, why would you get married? Why would you get married again if you don't? I mean, why would you get in a relationship if you're not going to get married again?
Because every relationship you get into is not necessarily for marriage. Some people just enjoy companionship.
Post-divorce?
Some people just enjoy companionship.
I didn't say it's wrong. I would never do it, and I don't understand the logic of it. Because now you can't enjoy, as he said, the freedoms of being single.
But you can enjoy the freedoms up until he meets somebody where he feels like, now I don't want that freedom. I want to enjoy just being with this person.
In every relationship,
I think that's what he's saying.
Every relationship has
I
a
know
purpose.
he's saying that, and I'm saying that's crazy. You just got out of prison, and you want to go back to
I
a
don't
jail.
wanna
But he
go
never
back.
said that.
I don't.
You said that.
He said
wanna
no.
go back.
I don't remember when I said, are you
He
gonna
said
get
he
married
don't
again?
want to get married. He didn't say he don't want companionship or all that other
You
stuff.
can get companionship without being in a relationship.
Yeah, but you said you was like, oh, why would you got out of this relationship for freedom and now you going back into this? I'm like, both things can exist. Like he can have his freedom, enjoy it as long as he want, and then he might meet somebody where he's like, this the one I want to kick it with. That don't mean,
but he ain't gonna marry her.
yeah, but marriage ain't for everybody.
Not the first one. But maybe the second
But y'all
one.
making my point. So then don't make declarations that you're not getting married again. Because as you said, I'll let you know if that changes.
It's so black and white and binary.
That was for a
code.
It's
relationship,
just
not
real.
marriage.
For
the marriage, he
dealing
said
with too
no.
much AI. You thinking like AI.
I do. I really do.
That's that Chat GPT. That's
Yeah,
all he
that's
do.
it.
Is
I
read Chat
do.
GPT.
Because my boys are all divorced. And I'm like, okay, the day when we all meeting up first time, they newly single, we have Bo or something, they can't keep their neck straight. And I'm like, dog, you getting married again? No. 5 minutes into the conversation, oh man, I don't know. I'm like, okay, you ain't got to make declarations, but why'd you start off with a no?
Because people,
Well,
they
you
hurt.
asked,
They hurt.
because you asked the
That's
question.
PTSD. So hell no, I ain't gonna do that shit.
Thank you. Be vulnerable. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and then once you
Stop
settle
lying.
settle
Stop
down, you're
lying.
like, you know what? I don't
right.
know.
And then next thing you know,
and you know what,
they
Terry,
in a
that's
relationship.
exactly right.
And then you know what happens? By the end of the dinner, the next time, they in another relationship. And then I always got jokes. I'm like, why'd you leave one commitment to get into another commitment?
I have no plans from jumping from the fryer pan into the fire. No.
Okay. But would you ever get married again? I mean, I'm asking
Don't let him bully you,
just
Richie.
never.
No, from a know thyself conversation. Yes, you do. Would you ever mess with a dude?
Whoa.
Oh, never mind. I'm just asking. No. You know why? Because there are certain things you know you're not going to do. So I'm asking, would you ever marry again?
Would you ever mess with a dude?
Yes, absolutely. Hell no. But I'm also not getting divorced. I'm not getting divorced.
We gotta have some better analogies.
That threw the whole argument off.
Let's say, would you ever do mushrooms? There you go. There.
That's right. That's right.
Would you? That's my point. I really was fascinated by how you said you wouldn't get married again. That started all this. I'm sorry for all the confusion. And then I'm like, damn, because I get it. If I ever got divorced, I'm like, there's no baby commitments.
To be perfectly frank, I can't see myself getting married again. I can't see it.
Yeah.
If I close my eyes, I can't vision and picture it. Now, that's not to say that somewhere along the line something could change. And
So you're open to it.
because I didn't think I could see it before, and that changed.
So you're open to it.
I'm open to all possibilities.
So yay.
I'm living in the land of yes.
Yay. So we went from no to probably not to I'm open to it.
But it probably wouldn't.
And the
happen.
dinner ain't over yet. I'm trying
But
to
if,
tell you
no,
this.
but it probably would not happen.
Okay, well, we'll see. I just want you to keep your heart open to love. Or close that motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Open the door or close it. Simple as that.
I don't think
Why
he
you want
knows
me
yet.
to be all cold? You want me to
I
just
said
be
open
cold?
it. I said open it. You should just, you lead with your yes. Lead with your weakness. Lead with your No. You don't do
This
it?
dude, there's something wrong with him.
I think you put a lot of pressure on him that he's not ready for.
That's my whole point. I play football. Hell yeah. I blitz my boys the same way. And it's the same thing. Now I got one boy lonely. He like, damn.
Do you feel bad about that?
No.
Did you have a hand in that? In
No,
the
I know
loneliness?
he lonely because
The pressure? He's like, damn.
he
I'm
lonely.
gonna tell Marcellus.
He ain't outside.
Pressure's real.
Yeah, lonely because of him.
I
He
gotta tell
lonely because
me.
he don't go outside enough. The other one ain't lonely, but he outside too much. And then he get into these baby relationships. I'm like, why you got all these baby relationships?
Baby relationship.
Well, I call boyfriend, girlfriend, baby relationship.
I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
I'm like, I really don't understand the other side, but I'm being respectful. If I'm divorced, Lorraine, yeah, like every day. And then when I meet someone who's amazing, I'm so sorry. Unless I'm going to get married again, what are we doing? Like, what's this jog on the treadmill? Either I'm running or I'm walking. Like,
You can't stand on the fence. That's
Yeah.
not a good place to be.
But
you
what
gotta
if
be
you
on one side or the other?
What if you meet somebody who also is not like? What if she's divorced too?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
has
she
no
gonna be
intent
divorced
of
at that
getting
age.
married, and she like you just want to enjoy each other's companionship, and that's it. Is not looking for anything. Should he not date her?
Is she looking for commitment?
No, I'm saying maybe commitment, but not marriage.
No, that may be.
Because commitment and marriage is two different
He's saying
things.
she's fresh out.
Yeah, like
y'all
if they're
both
both in the
fresh out.
same
Yeah,
scenario
yeah.
where they're both out of a divorce, neither are looking to get married, but
Heard
they
everything you
do
said.
want to
I
get into
asked
like a
one question,
relationship.
You didn't answer it.
I did.
Is she asking for faithfulness, commitment?
Yeah, in a relationship.
No. I'm not doing it. Why would you do it? You just left divorce.
I
To
mean,
boo up?
I'm just asking. I think it's a case by case.
Yeah, and all cases are closed. No. Like, what the hell? You gonna boo up?
No.
And then all of a sudden, you can't go to France?
You get tired of being outside after a certain amount of
Be
time.
inside, but with others. with
With
more
the companion.
others. That's plural.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Oh,
Thursday,
not
Friday,
even
Saturday.
that.
Everybody that
Sunday,
you get tired of that after a while. Well, most guys, not all guys. Some guys still chase it to the end of the whenever. But
I
you
just think-
outside enough, you get
Yeah,
you
I don't wanna
outside
be
enough, you get tired.
I wouldn't want to be outside.
But as you said, once you stop going outside, the options change. You're not gonna run into the people, so you gotta eventually get somebody.
Well, that person that's not out, it doesn't change for everybody. You know that. Them apps and all that. I was just
But for
saying,
the average.
I just think about three scenarios. One, you're going on vacation, right? You're divorced and you go on vacation.
that's a different vacation.
You try to hang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna not do that because you met some new girl post divorce. Two, you got to go on the boys trip, not vacation, just boys trip. You know that's intention. We're not doing that because, you know.
Right.
Or three, it's just Wednesday, I'm at the crib, and yeah, I'm really feeling this girl. Vanessa's great. But I did meet Jessica, and she just hit me back, but I'm faithful and committed, and I'm 60. That sound like fucking some childhood shit. Sound like you 9 years old again. Like we going backwards in life. So that's why I was like, why would you ever get committed again unless you're gonna get married? When you're already out of a divorce.
I
at
understand.
this
I
age.
understand what you're saying now. I don't think I understood what you were really saying before.
Oh.
Now what you're saying makes a little bit more sense.
I get it too.
You gonna do it again?
I wouldn't get married again.
It's not on my bingo card. I can tell you that.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
just
do it
not.
at all.
See?
Yeah.
Would you?
I never disagreed with you on
Okay.
that point. But I understood his point as well.
You gonna get little baby boo up?
I don't know. That's interesting. I
just think that's a lie. I'm thinking you lying to somebody if you 60 talking about, yeah, we just dating.
Maybe. I don't know. I got to ask him. He's.
What?
Could you be faithful right now, Richie?
Could I be?
That's a no.
No.
I mean,
Because I'm like,
repeat.
after 20 years of marriage,
My
you
girlfriend told me that when I
outside.
was like 19. She said, every time you lie, you repeat the question. I was like, damn. And then I couldn't stop it. She said, so she was like, what? Say, did you go over Jerome's house? I was like, did I go over Jerome's house? Dead to rights. Dead to rights.
That's a woman shit there. That they will figure that part out. They will
Dog.
figure your ass.
That is
out.
hilarious.
Dog, I used to be.
It's so true.
Oh no, some people do that.
It's so true.
Some people just do that because they got to process what you're saying. But I think that's true too. What you just did.
Oh, it's true for me.
Buying time.
Every
There's
time.
both.
Because I'm like, yes, no, maybe so. Not, what did you just say that I heard? No, like somebody be like, hey, you ever repeat yourself to somebody? And they were like, all right, so Just Blaze, what you up to? And you're like, oh, you say it. What you up to, Just Blaze?
Chilling, just go
What'd you
hanging
say?
out.
And then you don't say anything. And I say, oh, you chilling. Bitch, why'd I ask you what you say? I just heard you. You didn't say another word. I'm like, oh, you chilling. See? I got all these quirky things like that. I catch people doing that all the time. I hate, this is another one I hate. Somebody go like this. Dang. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not going to ask you what the fuck you talking about.
I hate that too.
That's right. That is a you.
I hate that too.
Yeah.
We know somebody that
I'm
does
not
that.
taking the bait.
We know somebody?
Yeah.
We both do?
Yeah. She was there yesterday.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
Every time.
I'm like, I'm not
It will just jump in the
them,
conversation. She don't even be a part of the conversation. It will just insert herself and do that. And I'd be like, oh my God.
what is that? Like, yeah, oh boy. Okay. You really want me to just jump in your head? What's going on?
Nope.
Nope. And then I feel such an asshole, but I take it. I take that, like, I know that this girl needs me or this guy needs me to say something.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, huh?
I just don't say nothing.
Yeah.
I just stand there and let you suffer in your own mind. Because I'm not asking.
Do it in your own juices.
Right. Yeah. You figure out how you want to get that out. But I'm not asking.
What else is on? Is there any other topic going on right now other than the Kobe GOAT conversation before we get up out of here?
Parity in the NBA.
Oh, that's crazy. What, 7 straight?
Yeah.
NBA champions, 7 different ones. Versus the old era.
Yeah.
It was like 3 in 30 years. What was it?
But you know what? I feel like it's worked so well that it's not working anymore.
This?
Yeah.
Or that?
The strive for parity.
Oh.
Because I think you need behemoths. You need the boogeyman. You need that big dragon under the stairs. And when you don't have that, I think sports is missing something. I think you always need somebody who you fear and can dominate the sport.
The Goliath.
Yeah, you need a Goliath.
It's,
Otherwise, you don't have any Davids, right? So
That's an example of what just happened.
yeah,
in
and
this
so right
finals.
now everybody is medium. Nobody's
Yeah.
big, nobody's small. Everybody's medium.
Yeah,
and medium's not fun in sports.
that's true.
You know, what the fuck are we gonna talk about a bunch of medium for?
Yeah, because none of the superstars were. I think they all got bounced pretty early. Like, yeah, because none of them even got to the Western or Eastern Conference Finals.
No.
right?
I heard somebody say with there being 7 new champions in a row, does that like diminish the rings? Like, does that mean? And I'm not. I couldn't agree with it because I kind of like that it's wide open now. I don't mind that. That's everybody has a shot to win it, a legit shot.
Philosophically, I like it. Emotionally, I don't because I love to know Usain Bolt is walking out on that track and y'all can't beat him. I love to
Or
know
Tiger Woods
or
is teeing
Tiger
it up.
Woods or the Lakers and the
Serena,
Celtics back then.
yeah.
Like that shit is different. The Bulls, that's different than. I don't know. And like that's an anticipation, but it just ain't Mike Tyson about to come in. Good luck to y'all.
Right.
But weren't you happy
But
to see
you know-
like Giannis finally get a ring, or happy to see Jokic get a ring? Like
It's not memorable for me. I love it for them. I don't feel
I
it.
mean, the difference now is it's not because it's not dominance. It's because the injuries. Every year, the best players are getting injured, and they're not even getting to that point.
Right.
which is the whole other issue of what's going on in the league
You
right now
sure?
with all these Achilles tears and all of these season-long injuries.
Are we putting?
Think
Are
about
we mapping that properly? Because think about it. Going into the season, who are you saying? Oh, look out! Like go. In the last 7 years, that Boston, we thought for a second, but we weren't even sold.
Yeah.
Like I'm being for real. Like who?
Well, it was Golden State for years in a row.
Yeah, but
And
now
was-
since these last 7, that ain't even counting them.
I
We
mean, they
saying
always
since-
putting Lakers in the conversation, whether it's real or not. You throwing LeBron up that he's going to be there.
Houston number 2 this year in the West. Houston, like who are you really like? Oh, look out
nobody.
for Houston.
I am.
I mean, yes,
I'm
but
excited about Houston.
Is that Mike
You're a
Tyson
Laker
coming
fan.
out?
Yeah.
You're a Laker fan.
I'm a Lucky fan, but I just think that's going to be a dangerous team. Like, do not sleep on that squad.
I like that. I like
I'm
that.
sleeping.
So that's my point. You guys can argue over sleep or not.
Right.
We talking about the teams. I don't care what you arguing. They gonna whoop that ass. Like you know what I
It
mean?
ain't that.
We
It's
don't
a-
have that anymore.
It's a lot of changes this year too, because there's so much movement in the league. A bunch of players are moving around and leaving.
Which one you like? You like this or you like that? You like the old? It was like the Spurs.
I like the change. I like
You like this?
I like seeing different people get there. But I appreciate when one team or person is so dominant
Yeah.
that through all of this they can still
got it.
make it to, and I'll give LeBron that credit, because even though the East and the West was always changing, he was still figuring out how to get to the finals.
He gave what?
Till he came to the West, and then that changed.
Yeah, but he got 10 in a row.
Which is insane.
That might be the. I'm not saying this because of LeBron. I'm just saying, dog. Buffalo Bills made it to 4 in a row, and they ain't win one, but that feel like they got at least one, or like some kind of weird like participation trophy ring. 10 in a row is some kind of stat that got to be like, damn, in a row, not a break, in a row.
Yeah.
But you said what? Why you like OKC winning? Like I'm not saying that level. I'm saying in terms of history. Am I feeling that?
No, it was boring. Like it didn't move the needle for me for OKC to win. I wanted to see somebody dominant, but I also think that could be the start of something dominant, because they were the best in the league, and I didn't believe in them all year. I didn't think they were going to win, but then they shown and proved. Now again, Halliburton got hurt, and he started off in that game like it was going to be a big game.
Yeah.
Had he played that game, maybe they don't win.
Right.
I think we went into this past season thinking that Boston had a chance to repeat.
I did too.
I think and we went into that. So that was the boogeyman that kind of fell.
And then injuries.
Yeah.
Again.
It's also, like you said,
the
earlier,
injuries, to your
injuries.
point.
So every now the injuries are happening so much in the league that it seems like every year the team that you think is going to get there,
Yeah.
their player gets hurt.
I mean,
When Giannis and Lillard got together, it was like, oh, that's going to be the one. And
That shit just
Giannis
never
was
worked.
but Giannis had got hurt. He was out for a
Even when
long
they were both
time.
healthy, it didn't work.
Yeah.
it didn't look good.
Yeah.
I feel like Dame looked like he was a little out of shape or something.
He's been
Something
looking out of
something was
shape for
kinda
some
off.
years. Yeah.
Something was off.
But what I specifically don't like about the whole parity thing is that it's forced. Like I don't think the Celtics should have to break up their team because of second apron rules, and when they know that your players are going to get there, your star players are going to get this much money, and then they make you have to get rid of them.
did
I don't
that.
like that.
They
I
did that
agree
because
with
of
that.
LeBron.
You had something on that topic, kind of. We were talking about LeBron before. You want to bring that up again?
Which one? Which
With Rich Paul.
Oh yeah, he was talking about
Y'all catch this?
yeah, when Rich Paul made some statement today, kind of like pretty much thanking the Lakers
For being good partners.
Yeah,
in
they've
their
been a good
8
partner.
years.
It's been a good 8 years, and like it sounds like he's setting up LeBron to leave the Lakers.
Yeah.
He re-signed this weekend, his $52 million re-up.
Player
and then
option.
they put out that statement by Rich this morning, and I was like, that sounds like he's planning his exit.
And did they have the sound of Savannah?
You said something.
Is that true?
Was that you, or there was a song somebody recorded LeBron talking at a dinner over the weekend secretly, him saying that Savannah wants me to retire, and I want to go to New York. It was something like that. I can find it. It was on.
It sounded like Rich Paul playing politics with that Laker thing.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
definitely.
Because he wants to keep that relationship there. Because I'm sure he has other players
why would
that
he
he needs to
resign?
get through that system. You know. And did you see when he was on the? And I'm sure with agents it's just a normal thing, but it's the first time I've seen somebody actually do it on camera. Did you see when he was in the car driving? And he was on the phone. This is during the draft. That he was on the phone with Matt Ishbia, the Suns owner. He was like, "I'm gonna throw a name out there. How much do you like this player?" I forget the guy's name. And he was like, "Yeah, we like him a lot." He's like, "All right." So all I needed to know. He said, "Let me make some calls. I'm gonna try to get him over there to you." And I thought that was so.
Was that his client, Rich Paul?
The player?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Okay.
But that doesn't. Like, yeah, I get you doing that with your client, but the fact when you're like, hey, I'm gonna make these calls, it sound like I know what to say and who to say. Because he was like, we don't know if we're gonna be able to get him. If he falls to the 10th spot, we'll pick him. But he sounded like I'm gonna maneuver things around so that this person don't draft that or draft, and I can place him right with you. So I think when you have that, so when you talking about parity, you said you think it's forced. It's like, yeah, they're like literally putting people where they want them to put. It's so much, and I'm sure that's always happened, but now you're seeing it.
Why would he put that on blast if it sounds like that?
Yeah, I was surprised to see it because
Really?
if I'm the Phoenix Suns owner, I don't know if I would have liked that.
Yeah, that's
He
all
put
bad
that
all
out there
around.
too.
Nobody want to know how that sausage is made.
Right, that the optics looked a little sketchy. So when I hear you say, he's like, oh, thank you for the Lakers. If he's doing that on camera, I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, there's all types of deals. That's how Bronny got there.
Yeah, with the sale. It's weird to sell. They still got, obviously, minority ownership. LeBron opts in, and then there's rumors of him wanting to leave, or you give this kind of Lakers eulogy. Like, yeah, it was great knowing y'all. Y'all been great at this critical part of our career. It's
Of his legacy.
of my legacy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
insane.
what? All right, look, listen to this. This is,
If we could play, I'll let you play. I ain't
LeBron
yeah.
needs to go to the
I
Knicks.
turn it down. But listen to this,
LeBron
dog.
should go to the Knicks.
That'd be great.
LeBron?
They might win.
Yeah.
Like
got
keeping
the,
their
It'd be
same
box
team.
office.
with the GOAT?
Yeah. And the money.
Yes, cut that. You said with the GOAT? You said,
Oh, I wasn't saying yeah to that. Right, he didn't hear the part where I said they
I heard it.
might win,
I
and I'm
heard-
like
yeah.
yeah to that.
Yeah,
Not
I
to the
know.
GOAT.
I'm cutting that. I got you. LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had.
Wait, whoa! This is what Rich
This is
Paul
what
is.
Paul said.
Rich Paul said
For 8 years
this
with
weekend.
Genie.
Gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
And consider the Lakers as an official part of his career. He not done.
Official part of his career.
But he just re-signed.
He's about to be out.
But he's never re-up like that. Like,
Yeah, and then he says, we understand the difficulty in winning. Now, while preparing for the future, we do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want what's best for him. He gone, huh?
That's what it sounds
it's
like.
either-
Sure do. Why
either
would you
put
say
on,
woo?
they either putting on pressure or he's gone. It's one of the two.
Pressure for what?
To get
There he got the money.
I mean, what pressure for what?
right.
Is he getting mad that Luka already running this? Like, we run this town?
You know what that sounds?
be
That
it.
statement sounds like to me what KD kind of went through. I feel like LeBron went to the Lakers thinking, he's going to be the face of the Lakers. And I feel like he never really got embraced the way he wanted to because this is still a Kobe town. And he never really got loved as a Laker. And part of that is because it's so many people who fought for Kobe over him so he never got the real love. And it's the marriage with the KD point is KD thought when he went to Golden State and got those rings that everything was going to be all peaches and cream, but he never really got the love and respect because it was Steph's team. He's the hometown hero. And he left there because he didn't feel that energy. So I think LeBron has come to the point now, and it's just my opinion. I don't have no facts on it, but I just feel like he's like, I came here, I got the chip.
I like that.
They still not loving me. Man, I'm LeBron. I can go somewhere else and get more love and still be the man. And now I don't even have to live to those certain standards. Because, you know, Lakers is, if you ain't winning, we don't care. You go to any other team and he just gets to the finals with them, it's like, LeBron, you're amazing.
Yeah, to your point, I love that point. I think LeBron is like, that's deep. LeBron is like, okay, if you're with the Lakers, you don't win, they don't care. Or you win, they don't care about me. So I got to go. All right, I'm going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this fight for the GOAT. So therefore, where can I go? New York, where that thing is magnified. If they like Jalen Brunson, wait till they see the damn Bron show. You know what I mean? And then if he mess around and get one, or just like you said, man, just get there. These people were losing their mind in the Eastern Conference Finals.
He probably thought he should have went there from the jump.
LeBron got the Knicks a chip.
That'd be crazy.
No, they gonna call him the GOAT for real.
They will call him the GOAT for real.
He would be the
It'd
GOAT.
Be loud.
I honestly might have to change my argument if he got the Knicks a ring.
We got to rewind the whole show.
For real, if he went to the Knicks and got them a ring, especially at this stage in his career, being 41, man, I'd be like, oh no, he's different.
Does he take J.J. Redick with him?
Oh, they don't have a coach yet, huh?
They trying to hire Dawn Staley. You saw that?
They had an interview with her.
Really?
They're trying to hire Dawn Staley as
As the head coach?
as the head coach.
That would be wild.
That'd be crazy.
I love me some Dawn Staley.
I do too.
I love
I
it.
don't know if I like it, if I hate it or love it.
I don't know if I'm her, I'm taking it.
Both sides of that.
I'm not your 19th pick. I know how this go. Even if I was your first pick, if I'm the Knicks.
She'd also be
That's
the first
okay.
woman coach
That's the only thing that's
the Knicks.
attractive.
of one of the biggest franchises.
And she's from the East. She's from Philly, right?
Philly, yep.
Yeah.
But you know how much, I don't know how much the numbers are in difference, so excuse this, but the security of being South Carolina versus going to, you go to Knicks, she gone in 2 years.
They're going to cut her slack because she a woman.
Yeah, you're right. So that's 2 years.
Yeah. I'm saying the
Dolan?
media. I think the media.
I know. They're going to be on. Oh,
Dolan
good point.
reacts off the media. So everybody was calling Tibbs out and saying how bad he was and all of this. So then they responded and they let him go. But if she gets hired, one of my favorite movies of all time, and most people don't even know this movie, but it's like top 3 for me, is Eddie. You ever seen Eddie?
Whoopi
Goldberg. Like, as a kid, that made me want to be in the NBA. Like, it was like the greatest movie to ever. I still love it. But
I love that.
The thing about that movie is she came in and, like, New York loved her.
Oh.
Like, they embraced her.
Yeah.
Even when they were losing, everybody was like, Eddie. Like, the streets, just everybody outside just loved her. So I feel like
going to be Eddie?
I think that's exactly what it'd be. I think Dawn Staley, she's already a proven winner. And she was a Hall of Famer in her own career. I think she goes to coach the Knicks. I think she's going to get such a pass.
And you
like,
know what
on
they're
so
going to
many
say?
things.
Get the fuck out of here.
They will.
Hey,
But
get the Eddie out of here.
they will, but they as
the
a New Yorker,
fuck outta
they
here.
I promise you.
They hired a broad.
I give her 3 years. If she
Dog,
don't,
I
if she don't
can't
do
do
nothing
it.
in 3 years, it'll get ugly for her. But
Tell
like,
her to
But she can
scram.
go back to college if it doesn't work.
yeah,
That's
she'll be
true.
fine. But if
I'll-
she
I'll
gets
roll that
further
dice.
than where they've gotten,
Dog.
she'll be goated in New York.
What if they
just
would-
like Jalen Brunson.
They might curse her out.
They might, but she seemed pretty tough.
No.
I think she can handle it.
Yeah. Well, we got to get out here. I think our batteries are dead. We talking too much. God, hey, Eddie, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out.
He said,
Love you
we
guys.
still
This episode 39 on the rocks. We are all friends, so none of these beasts will continue unless they want some smoke. All love, baby. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't see that. It's been on.